973.
Nick Abbott.
I really like you. Do you like me?
Good God, what's happening? Stop that, or I'll kill you. Today, an academic study published by the Medical Care Research Unit at Sheffield University said that the further away you are from an accident and emergency department, the higher the mortality rate from any given illness. This is about as unexpected as night following day. They're saying that the further you have to travel to get a serious problem treated, the more likely you are to die getting there. The government, of course, said, oh no, it's not. We're creating centres of excellence and closing down your local hospital to make up the cash, they said. This is great if you live near a centre of excellence, but isn't much use if you don't. No amount of excellence will make much difference if you're dead before you get there. It's about as obvious as studying leisure to degree level is a giant waste of time and money. Our money. £40 million of it we're spending every year putting students through courses like science, fiction and culture, outdoor adventure and, I kid you not, horse psychology. Even a donkey will tell you that's an ass, but the government says, oh no it's not. We should give them a sugar lump and pat them on the head and lead them straight to the glue factory. And today, Hurricane Dean hit land. One of the most violent storms ever recorded. Left Jamaica in a worse state than it found it and headed towards the Yucatan Peninsula in Mexico. Furniture in the street, cars overturned, rubbish everywhere. Can you imagine what it'll look like after the hurricane? Hey. Hello, kids.
Hello.
How are we?
Very well today, thank you.
What good news. It could be the wettest summer on record, but the rain is at least expected to clear in time for the bank holiday weekend.
Oh, yes. That's good news. I've got a wedding this weekend, not my own.
And I read this out yesterday, and they said more or less the same thing. If they keep saying the same thing, the nearer we get there, the more likely it is that they're actually onto something.
It will come true.
This summer is on course to be the wettest since 1659, when records began, and experts say that the weather has been unprecedented. However, forecasters predict the showers and the winds are set to disperse over the next few days, leaving us with glorious sunshine. You remember sunshine, don't you?
No.
The Met Office, Chris from the Met Office, said parts of the country should experience temperatures nearing, ooh, say it softly in case it doesn't come true, 80 Fahrenheit. Wouldn't that be great?
It would be amazing if it's true. I can't believe them, though.
80F is 27C.
Oh, is that all?
Huh?
We only get 27 degrees. I remember when summer was 30 degrees.
Well, there's not much difference between 27 and 30. It's 3.
Well...
It's barely an inch. The winds and rain are likely to continue until the middle of the week when high pressure will move in from the southwest. It's here. Can it actually be true? Hey, Charlotte. Is it true? Hey, Charlotte.
Hi there, how are you?
Charlotte, I'm super, mate. Thanks for asking.
Right. I just wondered, we're watching Sky News, and I just wondered, how does Pete Doherty stay out of prison? Because apparently he's been... I mean, I just wrote it down. It's just told me. It said on telly. He's been arrested 15 times in 2 years.
Yeah, mostly
I just wonder how he manages to stay out.
Musical offences.
Yeah.
I don't know, because he's famous, Charlotte. I expect that's the reason, isn't it? I'm a little mystified why people can keep getting off on technicalities. Either they have done something wrong or they can't. Nitpicking about technicalities seems like a silly way to run... a law. Well, it's a silly way to run a business, let alone a country. I don't get it.
No, I mean, the thing is, they come out smiling as if they've sort of done nothing wrong.
Well, no, they know he's smiling because he knows he's done something wrong and he's gotten away with it. That's why he's smiling.
Yeah.
I mean, he was found in a car with his eyes rolling into the back of his head with coke and heroin. Which part of that doesn't land you in jail? I'm mystified.
I mean, I don't know. I mean,
was he actually driving at the time? Do we know? Was he driving?
I don't know. He'd been to a concert, hadn't he?
Bound to have been,
from that concert or something.
Was he a passenger or was he driving?
I don't know. Sure. I don't know.
Well, you're all over it, Georgia, I can tell. Do you
want me to find out?
You're Googling it
I
as I
didn't know
speak.
whether you were happy for me to Google away. I know that he was coming back from the V Festival. Does that help?
Oh, yeah, the V Festival. That must have been great.
Boring.
Yeah, tremendous.
I'm tapping.
Pete Doherty.
Doherty.
I don't know, just click it and see if anything comes up.
Festival. Here we go, let's have a look. He was arrested at the V Festival, it says. Sorry about this, it's loading.
Pete Doherty arrested after the V Festival. God, it's really taking time.
Here we go.
Singer Pete Doherty was arrested early morning on suspicion of drug possession. He was arrested with two others, a man and a woman, after being stopped in a car. The troubled singer has an on-off relationship with Kate Moss. Oh, I'd be so pleased if I never have to read either of those two names again.
Oh, I like Kate.
I'm
I
sorry,
don't know
Nick.
why she went out with him, though.
Yes, Charlotte.
It's making a mockery out of the legal system, isn't it?
Making a mockery, is it?
Yeah.
I think the law has already proved itself to be an ass. Charlotte doesn't need
Yeah.
any help from him.
Well, if you lived in America, Paris Hilton was put in prison. Pretty sharp, wasn't she?
Well, she wasn't put in prison pretty sharp. She was put
No,
in.
I mean,
She was let off, and then the public rose as one to register their complaint, and then the judge, with the full glare of publicity on him, put her back in. Good thing too. Yeah.
Yeah, but George Michael is the same with him. He never seems to just gets away with it, doesn't he?
If you're famous and you're rich, Charlotte,
Yeah.
don't commit a crime until both of those two things happen to you. All right.
Okay, Nick. Have a good night.
Thanks a lot. Ta-da.
Bye-bye.
Go back to that Pete Doherty thing.
Oh, I'm going back.
Yeah, back.
I was trying to show my keenness
Back.
by literally
All right. Well, don't be so keen.
Googling every person that the
everything
lovely
that I say.
Charlotte said.
No, go forward.
Every word. Here we go, we're there. It's from the Sydney Morning Herald, which is...
The paper of record.
the paper of
Go down.
down.
The singer pleaded guilty in July to possessing crack cocaine, heroin, cannabis, and ketamine. Blimey, that would keep the Rolling Stones busy for the weekend, wouldn't it? Good grief. Hey, Pete.
Want to score some pot?
Oh, you've got some already? Oh, right you are. Isn't he dead yet? Him and Amy Winehouse, I'm just so sick of reading about them. It's the only reason that he's actually famous, not because of the music. Can anyone remember any single song that he's ever recorded? Like, one, I'll make it really easy for you. Can you whistle one song that Pete Doherty's recorded?
Negative.
No. Well, he's only famous because he takes a lot of drugs.
Yeah, and Kate.
And Kate takes a lot of drugs.
Well, no, and also hanging out with Kate.
Yeah.
But yes.
Can you explain Kate to me?
She's just so hot. I'm a straight lady, but she's still so hot.
It's interesting that straight ladies can describe other women in sexual
Oh, yeah.
ways, but not actually mean it.
Well, I can see that she's not just beautiful, but that she's very, very sexy.
Right, can I stop you there?
Yeah.
She's not beautiful and she's not sexy. She's a wall-eyed, spotty, stick-thin, boobless freak. And I don't mean to be offensive when I say that.
I still think she's a gorgeous girl.
No, you mean that in the cover photographs she's a gorgeous girl because she's been airbrushed within an inch of her life. She doesn't actually look like that.
I hope not. If she doesn't properly look like that, there's hope for us all. Because, she's just... Yeah, she just looks very, very good.
She doesn't. Like, which part of her looks good? Her legs?
She's
her
had a baby
boobs
and her bottom hasn't
That's
grown
an interesting point.
to the
She's
size.
had a baby.
She
yes. Is she familiar? Have they actually met? I've never seen her in public with a baby, and yet there's a photograph of that woman out in the newspapers every single day. Have you ever even seen her with a baby?
I have seen a couple of photos. I'll be fair to her, but yes, you're right. She does seem to
Party a lot for a woman who's got a small child at home.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes.
Party a lot with the wrong people. I mean, if I were
yeah.
a judge looking sideways at that couple, I think I'd take the child into care, don't you?
Well, I wouldn't want my child near someone who's taking drugs. That's for
Who's
sure.
taking crack cocaine, heroin, cannabis and ketamine all at the same time.
Ketamine's a horse tranquilizer.
I know. How out of it do you want to be?
Weird. Why would you take that?
Maybe we could grind down Pete Doherty and make soap.
I'd be there.
I wouldn't wash myself with it, but it's a good idea.
No, can we just throw it away?
Yeah, that's a good idea.
The
yeah.
soap or
We'll just
Pete.
throw the soap straight away.
Yeah.
And replace it with our molten brown requisites.
Yeah, something with a nice silver lid.
Something with a nice smell. I doubt that Pete Doherty smells nice. Here's one in Leighton. Hello, Joel.
Oh, hi, how you doing? You
I'm
alright?
all right, mate, yes.
Yeah, I just want to go back to the point about Pete Doherty and him saying, people saying, like, he's not going to prison.
Yeah.
Well, in fairness, you know, I know the guy, I know it's bad to do drugs and that, but in fairness, the guy's not hurting anybody, and if we put him into the cell, he's not doing anything that bad to a person.
Can I stop you there, Joel? If he's taking heroin, crack cocaine, cannabis and ketamine, and then getting behind the wheel of a car and driving, then the fact that he hasn't hurt anybody yet is just pure dumb luck.
But was he driving?
Well, I don't know if he was driving in this particular instance, but he drives a new Jaguar every other week. He does drive.
As far as I was to the point that he wasn't driving, he was in the back of the car.
All right, well, in that instance he was in the back of the car, but he drives a lot himself. He's not a driven man, in any sense of the word.
But then, people always focus in on this point with him, that he's doing drugs. Why are they always focusing on this, when there's so much more,
So much more to the man? Oh, come off it. It's the only thing that's interesting about him.
Well, yes, I agree. I think the guy is a complete idiot, to be quite honest with you. But, why, people are going on about this all the time. But why? I mean, what is the point of it? Why are they going on about it? It's not such a bad thing, really. He's not actually hurting anybody.
Right, well, I refer you to the answer I gave some moments ago. But the reason, well, you've hit on something there. The reason that they're talking about his drugs all the time is that, and I've said this before, and I'm absolutely right about this, write this down, that as a nation, we're only interested in people who get drunk a lot, take drugs a lot, and have sex a lot. Talent we're not even remotely interested in that anymore, which is one of the reasons that you can explain the X Factor's success.
It's very true, because you only have to look into the papers right now and have to look at Amy Winehouse.
Amy Winehouse. Yeah, exactly.
Exactly, you only have to look at her. Well,
she makes a nice noise. Nobody can actually understand a single word she's singing.
No, I agree, but then when you see her on stage and she opens her mouth and you see the state that she actually is, then, her music turns into nothing when you see her personality shine.
I'm not entirely sure what you just said there, but whatever it was, I quite agree. Thanks a lot, Joel.
No problem.
All right, cheers, mate. Ta-ra. It's, what are we doing here? Are we taking a break? Out at 15, and it's 10:15.
I'm the best for
7.3.
0870 90 90 973.
Nick Abbott.
No time for the old in and out, love. I've just come to read the meter.
In fact, Amy Winehouse should actually be going out with Pete Doherty, shouldn't she?
If you put them together, they'd match, wouldn't they?
Well, they could smoke each other.
Just no need to go out. Meet a dealer.
Here is Gants Hill. Hello, Kira.
Hello.
Kira.
Yeah, I just want to happy birthday, because it's your birthday tomorrow, isn't it?
Say that again.
It's your birthday tomorrow, isn't it?
It's my birthday tomorrow, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, I looked on the internet, I found out about it on Wikipedia.
You what, sorry?
I found out your date of birth on Wikipedia.
On Wikipedia?
Yeah, I read an article on you.
Oh, there's an article on Wikipedia, eh?
Yeah. And I just
Is any of it true?
August 22nd, 1960, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I'm right. Yeah, that's the one thing that's true. But the other one, nothing about you working at Virgin Radio and stuff like that.
Oh, well, that's best forgotten, I think.
Yeah. Also, I just want to say Kate Moss is the ugliest girl on earth.
Yeah, got to be close. Kate Moss is the ugliest girl on earth. Well, she's the luckiest girl on earth. To look like that and have a career as a supermodel, I mean, good grief.
No, I mean, she just has half of Columbia up her nose, and then suddenly she gets a contract at Topshop, and millions more just for doing that. It's just ridiculous. I might as well do that myself and get a contract if I can.
Yeah, she's a dress designer like I am, yeah.
She's a horrible role model, and her boyfriend, Pete Doherty, is the biggest loser on earth. I mean, that guy's a sham and pointless. I don't know why people want to read about it. Like, you read about Kerry Katona every day in OK magazine. Yeah.
I really don't know who's Kerry Katona?
The girl does those absolutely obnoxious Iceland adverts.
She does what?
She does Iceland adverts.
An Iceland advert?
Yeah.
Well, right. Take a holiday in Iceland? Actually, Icelandic people are extraordinarily beautiful. Kate Moss should maybe go and have some tips, but they're too busy having hot, blonde, 6-foot sex with each other to, discuss that with any interlopers.
No, yeah. Although people from Italy are better.
They're better, yeah.
I have to agree. Icelandic people, well, yeah, they're very high. They're seriously.
Yeah, they rule. Yeah. Okay, thanks a lot, Kira.
Okay, thanks.
Keep your eyes peeled for me. All right.
Okay, bye.
Cheers, mate. Ta-da. She was a nice girl, but it was very hard to understand the words she was saying. She spoke like a machine gun. It was like listening to an audio telegram.
She was very sweet, though.
I know, lovely girl.
That she checks out your birthday and everything. That's very nice.
Oh. So I'm on Wikipedia, eh?
Yeah, that's Kerry Katona. That's her Wikipedia
Blimey,
page.
you are...
I've got a taste for it now.
You are Googling things like it's going out of style.
And there's your one.
It's just typing, you know. Don't get excited.
I know. It says here.
Right, well, they've stolen the photograph from here.
They have, to start with. Early 1987.
Hey, they've even spelt my name right. That's excellent.
That's good. I spelt it wrong when I first did a search, which is a bit embarrassing. Sorry
Ian Lee has often confessed that he stole his act from Nick.
Yeah, all the time.
Really?
Yeah, he's
You're
one of your
very
biggest
loud.
fans.
You're peaking at like 10.
Oh, sorry.
Go
Here we
about
go.
3 less loud.
Okay, I'm quiet. Here we go.
Right, go down.
Down.
Down, down,
Down.
down, down.
Down.
No, not your voice. The page on the web. I wish I had control of things in here, but I've got control.
Me too.
Oh, blimey, you're even louder than she is. I've got no control of anything.
Sorry.
Down.
Down.
Down, down.
Down, down.
Down, down, down.
Down.
Memorable quotes.
Memorable quotes down. Okay.
People have been taking notes. Stop taking notes, people. Ilkley, Sean. Hello, Sean.
Hi, Nick. I was listening to a podcast that from another day, a couple of days ago, where you had like a meat feast fest.
Yes.
And if I was listening then, I would have called in. But I was just wondering, have you ever compared the flavour of meat from a butcher's to that from a supermarket?
No, I haven't actually strayed into a butcher's yet. That's like the heroin of meat.
Yeah, well, you should really do it.
In meaty chunks rather than sliced, so that it doesn't look like it came from an animal.
Well, the best way to choose your butcher is so your butcher should look like a cross between a surgeon and a
serial killer.
Something like that. Yeah. No, like I should have wrote this down, shouldn't I? No,
cross between a surgeon and a doctor.
No, what was I going to say? Oh, well, can't remember what I was going to say now.
Oh, I bet it was going to be funny, though, Sean.
Yeah. But, no, a really good meat combination is get a chicken breast, bird breast.
Chicken. Yes.
And then put a slit in, fill the slit with cheese, and then wrap that up in bacon and roast that. It's fantastic.
And then call the ambulance straight away and hope that one of those centres of excellence is nearby. Fill it with cheese and wrap it in bacon. Are you kidding?
Absolutely.
Then your heart will explode right out of your chest.
Ah, well, you got to go one way or another.
Well, I suppose so. Yeah. I'm enjoying ham and turkey at the moment. They both come from a cow. Not a lot of people know that.
And you start the day with porridge, don't you?
Yeah, porridge. That's right. Did you find that on Wikipedia as well?
No, I eat porridge even through the summer.
Yeah, me too. Once I discovered it, I thought, wow, this really is the way forward. It flattens your stomach and keeps you full all the way through the morning, and I don't feel right without it anymore. I always have to have porridge before my happy morning sit down.
And it's especially delicious if you make it up with rice milk instead of normal milk.
Yeah, that sounds really revolting.
No, it's not. And then you put a big dollop of your favourite preserve in it. It's a bit like rice pudding.
You're coming across like a soft southern type. You want to have it water with a little bit of sugar at most.
I've been listening to LBC too much.
Right, yeah. You want to get yourself out on Ilkley Moor and hard yourself up a bit, mate. You know what you should not go out on Ilkley Moor without?
Naked woman?
Well, you might want to write that on the back of your hand in case you forget. Yeah, but come on, you live in Ilkley.
Is it Bartat?
Bartat is the right answer. Thanks a lot, Sean. Well done, mate.
Bye now.
Here is Soho. Hey, Mick.
Hello, mate. How are you?
I'm good, thanks.
Good. Pete Doherty.
Yeah.
The hypocrisy. It seems like he's the whipping boy for everyone who's ever taken a drug. You know, you think of any there's not a musician you could name that hasn't taken a drug.
Andrew Lloyd Webber.
Call him a musician?
His brother's a musician, isn't he? I got the wrong Webber.
Yeah, but you know what I mean. It just seems, you know, Keith Richards, Mick Jagger, Bowie, all of them write, you know, autobiographies, and we all laugh at how much drugs they take and how great they are. just seems like he's the one that's paying for everyone. He hasn't got an entourage around him to carry his drugs around for him.
He absolutely does, though. He's never without an entourage.
Well, why ain't all his drugs for him? If I'm not defending him in as much, but I think, it's journalism. You must know journalists that got their faces in bowls of Coke of a weekend, and then on Monday they'll be writing about, the people taking drugs. It just really riles me.
Well, I was at a party a little while ago. I've said this on the air before, and I was talking to a very nice couple. They were, young boy and girl, sort of about mid-20s, and they was, what did you do last weekend? Oh, well, they said, we went to Ibiza. And, oh, yeah, how was that? Oh, it was fantastic. We were up all night there. And the E's were great, they said, and the grass was fantastic. And then we went and had, mind-blowing sex with this group of people. And, oh, really? And what do you do for a living? And they said, oh, we're journalists with insert name of giant red-top tabloid here. And I thought, right. So you're absolutely right. Yeah, there's no doubt about it. But
it is annoying.
But we're breaking that butterfly on this wheel right now.
Yeah, and he's their whipping boy at the moment. And like Kelvin Mackenzie in The Sun at the weekend. I don't know if he had a little article in the bottom of his page that disgusted me. Did you read that?
No, I must have missed that. You sound like you're talking with your head in a bucket. You speaking into the fuzz better.
Oh, I lifted the mic up. No, at the bottom of his article, he wrote about Amy Winehouse and Pete Doherty, and he actually said, I hope they die together, and I hope it's soon. Something like that, really vicious and nasty.
I find that hard to believe. That Kelvin Mackenzie is such a nice man.
Yeah, the same again, let's get back to hypocrisy. I don't know, and I've never taken drugs in my life, you know what I mean? So I'm not... a pro-drug person or anti. It's just I think it's part of the music business that he's in, and he's the Rottweiler story at the moment, I think.
Well, it's partly because he gives good copy. He just keeps getting caught all the time. Yeah.
There you go.
Just get caught less, Pete. Stop driving around with it. Yeah, all right.
Exactly,
Thanks a lot, Mick.
Thank you very much.
Cheers,
Bye-bye.
ta-ra. This is LBC. Let's have Catford. Oh, Trixie.
Hello. I thought you had to go straight to a break now.
Do I?
Yeah, I hope you haven't. You always get me on when there's a break coming up or the news.
Oh, well,
Hello?
You're beginning to figure that out, eh?
Yes, I figured it out. You just can't wait to get rid of me. I liked Sean's recipe, but I couldn't eat it, but it was a lovely recipe.
I don't listen to this show. What was it?
Oh, you don't? All the bacon and the fried stuff and the...
Oh,
that man with that lovely accent.
Get a chicken and stuff it with cheese and wrap it in bacon.
Yes. It sounded great.
And what side dishes will we be enjoying with that? Deep fried butter?
Something like that, yes, probably. But it did sound gorgeous, but unfortunately untouchable.
Yeah.
Sadly. Hello, what have you eaten tonight, then? What was your famous last meal before you...
Well, I've just had a chunky Kit Kat. I've just had a Kit Kat chunky.
Yeah. And is that gonna hold you? It's the last day you're ever going to be young,
No, I think that happened a long time ago.
Well, the last day you were ever young?
Well, when does young stop?
Oh, I don't know. It doesn't really stop, does it? I'm only joking.
When does young stop, by the way? When are you officially old?
When you have children.
I suppose it,
Oh, that's okay. I haven't had kids, so I'm okay.
Right. Well, I'll be the judge of that, Trixie.
Oh. Thanks a lot, mate. I hear you're being just as horrible to your callers as ever. You're in top form, Nick.
I've been super nice to everyone who's called me.
I know. And your fans have been tuning in regularly to both channels.
Yeah, I've been over the other place playing
rock and roll.
Yeah, loving every minute of it. Yeah.
And your energy is remarkably high at the moment.
Well, that's because of the Kit Kat chunky. Must be.
Yeah, absolutely. I nearly sent in some
underwear.
Some of those little cakes with the gorgeous orangey bits.
Okay, well, you best not, because anything that comes in that is comestible will throw straight away.
By the doorman, I know. No, I know.
And George is actually looking at me with a worried look on her face, going.
Oh no, that meant just don't eat anything that's ever sent in, ever.
Well,
it's the first rule of radio. It's the first thing you
How stupid do I sound?
Well, it's the thought that counts.
Yeah, I suppose so.
Maybe I should send some kind of a token maybe to Sainsbury's or Waitrose.
Well, you thought about it. And I'll take that thought and I'll screw it up and I'll toss it straight in the bin.
But
Thanks a lot, Trixie.
I'm too much of a cheapskate to do that. I'll spend it on myself. If I bump into you, I might give you something, all right?
Yeah, if I bump into you, I'm reaching for my taser, all right?
Oh, thanks. You are mean. You really are mean.
Well, only to you so far. I think you're bringing out the worst in me.
Oh, all right.
But listen, the break's coming up and I
I
can't
knew
be
you'd
late.
do this to me.
It's not my fault.
Have a lovely birthday.
Thanks a lot, my dear. Cheers. Ta-da.
Bye.
Imagine if
I touched on this at the beginning of the programme, but did you read this about the what they're calling, the newspapers are calling them Mickey Mouse degrees that cost us 40 million quid a year? A rise in the number of school leavers going to university in recent years has fuelled a huge increase in courses of what they say are dubious academic merit, says an organisation called the Taxpayers Alliance. In a report today, it identified 401 courses which were claimed were not suitable to be taught in universities. These included a course on golf management, offering students an understanding of the game, combined with regular trips to courses such as in St Andrews and Carnoustie, and baking technology, which focuses on the design and production of bread. Wouldn't that be fantastic if as a degree you just went and played golf?
Just bliss. It's ridiculous.
How great would that be? The report also criticised a degree in equestrian psychology, which, it is claimed, investigates the unique partnership between horse and rider during husbandry training and competition. University leaders hit back, accusing the group of academic snobbery. Oh, I mean, that's just incredible, isn't it?
It's just ridiculous. What is this, horse whispering? Does it really take 3 years to learn how to ride a horse?
They say that not only is it academic snobbery, but they're failing to recognise how the job market had changed. In other words, they're saying, oh, no, it's not, because they can't think of anything else to say.
Exactly. That's just crazy.
The Taxpayers Alliance insisted that the training offered in the courses would be better learnt on the job. Of course it would. Political priorities have led to a never-ending drive to increase the number of students in universities, says Peter Cuthbertson, the report's author. As a result, there's been a massive expansion of non-degrees of little or no academic merit. The government has failed in its pledge to abolish Mickey Mouse degrees. And he's absolutely right. Well, the reason that there's so many of these things is so that once again, it's all about targets, and targets are all about how statistics can prove that we're doing well, despite everybody thinking that the truth is the contrary.
It's just about getting, what do they want? A third of people in university or something?
That's ludicrous.
School leavers?
And what that does is reduces the amount of people who are on the dole. So they can say, it's a twofer. They can say, look how few people are on the dole under our munificent leadership, and look at all these brain boxes that we're producing. They're all at university. Only we can do this, they'll say.
It's bizarre. Why can't they just do
No, I can barely hear you.
Oh, I'm trying
Turn
not
yourself
to
up.
shout.
Well, look at their levels. Have you done this before?
Well, yes, but here we go. I'll just turn the screen a bit more towards me.
There you
Sorry, Andy. Are you all right there? There we go. I can see myself now. Well, I can see my voice levels now. Yes, apprenticeships. That's what they used to do.
Yes, correct. Learning on the job, so to speak.
There's nothing wrong with them either.
If non-courses were abolished, all the other students would save over £100 on their tuition fees, which is not much, but Pete Doherty could spend it in about 10 minutes, right?
Well, probably less.
The group identified 401 courses at 91 institutions which should not be classed as academic, as they taught practical skills better left to the workplace. The report estimates that the taxpayer had to pay £40 million to subsidise over 2,500 students taking the courses last year. Courses like outdoor adventure with philosophy. What could that possibly be?
What's the thinking behind a monkey thingy? What are the ones where you hold them above your head?
Monkey bars?
That's it. Thank you.
Therapeutic bodywork. What's that?
Yoga and Pilates.
Lifestyle management.
Yeah.
Lifestyle management. What can that possibly be? Visitor attractions. You can actually take a degree in visitor attractions.
Well,
at Blackpool College, of course.
Of course.
And science fiction and culture. That's just beyond belief, isn't it, really? And it's also so that they can say, look at these statistics. These statistics prove that we're doing well. And the people who are studying them They're going in. I've got in much the same reason that I studied psychology at university, because I couldn't think of anything that I studied at school that I wanted to continue with. So I thought, well, I'll study people. How boring could that be? It'll be fascinating, I thought. In reality...
Boring!
Very, very dull. But the university part was great.
Did you have to do the statistics?
You're still very faint.
Oh, sorry. Here we go. I'm closer. Am I better now?
Yes.
Did you have to do the statistics?
Yeah, stats in the first year was the only thing that we actually took an exam on.
Ooh.
You could take all of your books and a calculator in, and I got a D.
What?
A D.
That's because it's hard.
Well, yeah.
But did you not do any work either?
No.
Like you said, you enjoyed the university part of it.
Yeah, the social side of going to university is tremendous, and presumably anyone who's going to do horse psychology or leisure or underwater crocheting or whatever the hell it is that they're doing is doing so because they're going to have a jolly old time, which I suppose is okay, but not if it costs us 40 million quid.
Exactly.
It's a giant waste of time. What did you study?
English lit.
Right.
I mean. And then I did the postgrad in broadcast journalism, and it was the postgrad that taught me how to do the job. English lit was just really nice. You know,
postgrad in broadcast journalism.
Oh yeah, teaches you how to edit and things.
Oh, well, that's clear.
Did I sound convincing?
Edit and things, eh? Canning Town. Hello, Danny. Oh, Danny. Hello, Danny.
First time calling me. I'm scared to death. Yeah.
Oh, that's all right. I'll talk you through it. How are you?
Yes, sir, mate.
Okay.
I've just been listening to the conversation. What?
Danny, you're going to have to turn the radio down because otherwise your brain will freeze.
Right. Now, what I'll do is I'll turn it down and walk outside. Yeah.
Well.
Yeah.
Either or
I'm going to walk outside. Get a better signal. I'm in the garden. Can you hear me?
Yeah. How is it?
It stopped raining. I'm in Bothwell Close, Canning Town. And it's not too bad, yeah?
Well, that's as precise a weather update as you could wish for.
First time on the radio. The thing is that I've been listening to the preamble whilst I was waiting to get reconnected, right? And the various topics that were mentioned about university education, I thought, I'm aware. But what I rang about was the thing about kids and this, that, you know what I mean?
No.
I'm 60 years of age, yeah? Now, when I was a youngster, I didn't get on necessarily with my parents.
Right,
until I had kids of my own. No, please let me progress. And then you can either put me on or not. I don't get...
I'm just chivying you along, that's all.
Yeah, right. So, I got on very well with my dad, not too well with my mum, because of different styles of... My mum used to... not miss my dad used to slap me, but we had a lovely family, right?
Yeah, it sounds like the Waltons.
Well, no, I got on ever so well with my dad till he died, and my mum, it took me a long time to get to love her until such time as my son and my daughter had kids of their own.
Right, and then you could feel her pain.
And then I had more respect for, you know what I mean? You have to develop. Now,
have you have you developed? Do you feel that you've finished your development?
No, never. No, we never finished. But I'm so pleased to see my grandchildren. And the thing is that which I did have, if I had bad points in my own upbringing, hopefully, well, my children have minimised them.
Yeah,
and
they can learn from your mistakes, eh? All right, listen, thanks a lot, Danny. You're making a lot of sense. Cheers, mate. He's still developing. He's an ongoing project.
He's a lovely man.
Well, what was it all about, Alfie?
When I rang him, he'd just taken a bite of his steak. And I just thought that was very descriptive. Could imagine him eating his steak.
How was the steak, Danny?
Sorry?
How's the meat?
Come on. I was chewing a bit of... the number of times I've rung up, and the time I got called back, I was actually chewing a bit of sirloin, and I couldn't help it. And I did tell the truth.
Right.
Now, please don't hang up on me. Please listen me out, right?
Well, let me ask you this question.
Yes.
Where are you actually going with this? What's the actual point of the call?
The thing is, it's progression with children. The thing is that Look, I was born in 48, right?
Right, it's already we're digressing. Where are we going with this? Stop going backwards.
What we're doing now is we're not helping kids anymore. We're not... Any families are no longer developing where they used to develop.
Right.
I live in Canning Town, right?
Yeah, I know. It's stopped raining, and you're in the garden.
Oh,
Hey, listen, Danny, I've got to go, mate. Next time you call, I'd love to speak to you again. Really, I would. But make notes, okay? Write it all down longhand. But I'm glad that it stopped raining. Aren't we glad that it stopped?
I'm pleased.
Raining.
I'm pleased. It's supposed to be nice weather tomorrow as well.
No, it isn't.
Oh, isn't it? Have they changed it?
On an hourly basis.
They just don't tell the truth anymore.
No, they don't. What are you doing now?
I'm looking to see what the weather's going to be like on the website.
Well, don't look on the BBC's website. They've got no idea.
Oh, really? What about the
They
Met
don't even
Office?
know what it's like now. I bet if you ask them what it's like right now, they've got it wrong. Well, the Met Office is the same people.
Well, who do we believe?
Well, we don't believe any of them.
So you just don't... We'll never know.
Only in retrospect can they get it right.
Look at... Oh, no, you see... Oh,
raining.
Yeah,
You see? They say that in London, right now, it's raining. Is it raining? No, we've just had the word from outside. It is not.
It might be raining somewhere in London.
And on their 5-day forecast, it says it's not raining right now. On their day forecast, it says it is raining right now. I mean, that's just ludicrous, isn't it?
It's very odd. It's very odd.
This happens all the time, because the Met Office has given the BBC internet the same information as the BBC TV, right? And they'll almost always be completely opposite. They'll say on the television the total opposite of what they're saying on the net.
You can get 10 days on the Met Office, whereas you can only get 5 days on
Well, what's the point of that? They can't get today right, let alone 10 days hence. But, all right, just for amusement's sake, what are they going to say over the next 10 days?
Okay, well, days 6 to 15.
Pressure is expected to be relatively high across the United Kingdom. That's a good thing, right?
Yeah. High
most places should have some lengthy spells of dry weather.
Woohoo.
Bank holiday weekend should be dry in most places. Some rain is likely in the northwest. Ha ha. There's a low risk of thundery showers across southern areas. Oh, that's here.
Oh, yeah.
Central and southern areas should have plenty of dry, rather warm weather.
That's brilliant.
That is brilliant, if only it could be true. What's seasonal?
I don't know, let's have a look.
Does that mean for...
Seasonal.
Summer weather is
That
nothing.
must be for tourists.
Yeah.
Summer weather is important to many people in the UK.
Yeah, no kidding.
You don't say.
Individuals frequently make decisions on where to take a holiday based partly on the perception of how good the weather will be.
What?
Just to study the bleeding obvious here. Businesses can see big changes in their turnover as weather changes from warm to cooler, cloudier and raining. Well, that was worth the money, wasn't it? Do we pay for them too?
I think so.
Good grief. Is there a break here?
No, not yet, actually. You've got a whole nother 10 minutes. It's an unusual spot. I've got Virgil in Tracy Island ringing on the XD. Excuse me a second.
Yeah. Shall I wait?
Yes, please.
In silence?
No. Don't, hang on a second. Stay there for me, Virgil, or Darren. Virgil said he's called Darren.
Nothing that's happened so far has made any sense to me.
There's a caller who's come in who says it says on the machine that it's Virgil from Tracy Island.
Yeah, I see that, yeah.
But I just answered him and he said he was called Darren. Can you answer him there?
Tracy Island is, I don't want to speak to him, he's on the XD.
Oh, okay, I'll talk to him.
Tracy Island is a Thunderbirds thing, right?
Might be. I don't know, I've never watched Thunderbirds.
It is.
Oh, it
You've
is.
never watched Thunderbirds?
No, I've never seen Star Wars or Star Trek either.
Oh, come on.
Well, I didn't grow up with any brothers.
What's that got to do with
Well,
it?
they're quite, like, male.
Star
things.
Wars?
Star Wars. Well, I did sit down in front of a Star Wars movie once, but I fell asleep after 5 minutes.
Well, which one?
No idea.
If it was number... Now it gets
There
confusing.
there was a robot in it.
Really? Oh, well, that narrows it down. A robot, you say?
There was a gold robot and a silver one.
Really?
I see.
Yeah.
Right.
Is that Star Trek or Star Wars?
I'm sorry, but there's no excuse for that. Even if you've never seen them, this is common knowledge throughout society,
I bet
throughout
there
the
are-
Western world.
No, I bet there are lots and lots of girls out there.
There can't be one single woman who has got no idea which C3... you must know who they what they're called.
There's
C3PO
there's and
and R...
T-do-to?
No,
Don't laugh at me.
you're deliberately
it's
getting that wrong
No,
just to annoy me.
No, I promise I'm not. RT. I know how it sounds.
No.
Oh, I know how it sounds.
Now, this show will not continue until you get this right. I'm serious.
R2D2. Is that right?
Yes.
Yeah, I knew the sound of it, but I just hadn't ever said it.
Right. Now, which series of films are they in?
I've no idea. They're in Star Trek or Star Wars.
Yeah, which?
Wars?
Wars, you see?
Is that right?
You do know.
Well, no, it must be subliminal then.
You're
because
beginning
I
to
don't
come
know
across
any
like
knowledge.
a geeky, trekkie nerd.
I know. Which one is the ones where people dress up as the person? You know, people get really into it and dress up as the characters.
Oh, that's the Rocky Horror Picture Show. That's another thing
brilliant.
entirely.
The Rocky Horror Picture Show is excellent. I've seen that. Frankfurter.
Yeah.
That's a good word.
But you have to at least watch the first Star Wars. I mean it.
Really?
It's like a western, but I suppose girls don't like westerns either, do they?
Just, you know, apparently it's I read an article about it which intellectualised it, that said it was like the classic good versus evil.
Never mind about all that.
Right.
It's just a great film. Anything that intellectualises anything is almost certainly not worth reading. Yeah, just see the source, not some academics wasting his time telling us what he thinks the subtext is.
Well, yeah, exactly.
But so you grew up without men around you, and this is your excuse for not having seen Star Wars.
There was one. My dad was around,
right?
But everything else in the family was female, including actually no, the hamster was male, but the dog and 2 cats were female, and I've got a sister, and obviously the mum.
Right. Well, you didn't need to tell us about the pets. I don't think that's got any.
Don't you feel you've learnt something now, Nick?
No, not really. No.
Oh, no.
So do you care what men think? Before you answer that, let me tell you why I'm asking.
Yes, thank you.
It seems that British women could not care less what men think after a survey showed that they are the least likely to put effort into their appearance for the sake of men. That's the least likely on earth, British women.
That's ridiculous.
Well, it's a survey and it was written in the paper. It must be true.
Have they ever been to the north of England and seen all those really glam girls that dress up like crazy?
Glam?
Well...
Now, this is an interesting use of the word glam that I'm not familiar with. What, like, they look like...
They're wearing not very
look like they left their pole at home. Is that what you mean by glam?
Slightly.
Tossing around in white high heels.
The problem
and,
is when you're from the south, you
luminous
have to...
boob tubes in the middle of November, screeching at each other. I spent some time in Leeds and Glasgow, and that's I know of which I speak.
It's female independence.
Okay, that's what you want to call it.
Yep.
They have the lowest levels of concern in the world for what husbands, boyfriends and other male observers might think, with only 51% caring whether men like their appearance or not, this study said. You recognising any of this?
No, I care.
Japanese women were second with 53% who care. Americans at 56%. We're the worst in any given survey. Not that I'm saying this is necessarily a bad thing, but on levels of drunkenness, smoking dope, on
sex,
and every single thing that you, if you took a moral position, you would say was a bad thing. We come out worse, or if at the inverse, we're number 1 in all of them.
Can I argue for a link?
We're the baddest people in the whole wide world.
Is there a link between possibly men not being very good in bed, which English men aren't supposed to be very good in bed according to the survey, and
according to what survey?
Another survey.
This is not.
What was that?
This is not in this survey here.
No, but it's another survey that said that men weren't very good in bed.
We're not dealing with that survey.
Well,
please stick to the issue at hand.
I'm suggesting that survey is similar to the survey that suggests that women don't make much of an effort in their appearance.
Because a cosmetics company, who would dearly like me to mention their name, commissioned a study that said that British women like to feel confident and beautiful for their own pleasure and take pride in their outward appearance, and aren't remotely interested what men think.
Can I guess the brand?
Which goes back to, it begins with a C and ends in Linique. Which goes back to what you were saying earlier on, that women can talk about each other's appearance in a quasi-sexual way without it actually having any sexual undertones.
Oh yeah, absolutely. you can say someone's hot or someone's attractive. Men don't do it as much.
Well, they
I
don't
would
do
say
it
that.
full stop. Unless you're
No.
standing on Old Compton Street at the time.
That's true. On Compton Street, it's more frequently occurring.
I mean, if I said, I really like your trousers, Andy.
I would be a little concerned.
Yeah, exactly.
You can
But-
see.
I'm now uncomfortable.
But women say that stuff all the time. Oh my goodness, you've got great boobs, they'll say.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
If I admired the cut of your jib, then
The cut. What is that? Andy's jib?
Yeah.
It's a very
What's
fine
a
jib.
what's a jib?
you'd come to work in a burqa,
Is
right?
a jib a willy?
Oh.
Sorry,
good
I didn't know.
grief. Now I can't believe a woman with English literature.
And a postgrad in broadcast journalism.
Thank
yes,
you.
behind her would come out with something like that.
What it is?
I'm trying to be legal, decent, honest and true here, and I'm being dragged into the gutter by Cinderella through the glass there. I thought you were a nice girl.
There's nothing wrong with the word. Is there? Should I have not said that?
Yeah, don't think you should have said that,
Oh,
no.
sorry, okay. Wait, say it
The
again.
survey also asked which of the 12 countries polled had the most beautiful women. Oh, now it goes silent.
Brazilian.
Although most found that their country's own women were the best looking, Britons rated Italian and Indian women more beautiful than themselves.
But, Nick, have you noticed that some nationalities age better than others?
Well, nationalities that don't have a lot of sun.
Yeah, like, for instance, British women age very well,
Thank you.
whereas some other nations, like Brazilians and Scandinavians, once they're over 40...
Scandinavians, but they don't have any sun.
I don't know, it's something about that, how the blonde hair face needs iron over 40.
But they all are very tanned in Scandinavia. I could never really figure that out. Like, if you go to Holland or Scandinavia, any of those places where they're all 6 foot and blonde and gorgeous, how come they're all tanned? Because they get less sun than we do.
But then they get the reflection off the snow.
It's funny, isn't it, actually? I can't think why.
So, and they do age less well the more sun they get. Spanish, for instance, look fantastic in their early years.
Oh,
and
yeah.
once they hit, like, 24, they look like
These poor Spanish girls.
wrinkled old prunes.
Italian ladies get big bottoms later in age.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. I went to Italy for almost 3 weeks. It was the last holiday I had. It was about 3 years ago. And the only overweight people I saw there were British tourists.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, you see, I
All the
always...
Italians, because they eat what is on the face of it a giant amount. No end of courses.
Yeah, yeah.
But the courses don't actually have much food in them, whereas we'll sit down for, a giant bucket full of
Oh,
food.
yeah.
But they sort of pick at it. Plus, they have the best coffee in the whole wide world. I swear there's not a single place in this country that actually serves decent coffee. I haven't found one yet.
Not compared to Italian coffee, no, you're right.
Why can they do it and we can't?
Well, it's like their mozzarella. Why can't we have their mozzarella over here? It's not that far. Or the tomatoes.
But the coffee thing is, they make mozzarella in Italy, so I would, I can understand that they keep the best for themselves. But the coffee doesn't come from Italy. They import it just like the rest of us. But if you have a coffee in Italy, you know you've had a drug. I mean, you sit there and you're speeding your little bosoms. Even Kate Moss is speeding her little bosoms off. She has to find them with a microscope, but there they are, being sped off. You have two, and you're out of your mind. Here, it's just brown...
Sludge.
Yeah, exactly. Brown water. Which is why they fill it up with, chocolate syrup and fudge and...
Caramel.
Yeah, and top it up with frothy milk to disguise the fact that it's not actually coffee.
London's LBC 97.3.
0870 90 90 973.
Nick Abbott.
It's happening. It's wild. And it's now.
Worthing. Hello, Anne.
It's Mr. Anne. It's Charles tonight.
Can I call you Anne?
You can call me what you like, mate.
As long as I call you?
You can call me Charles. Two friends call me Charlie, but
All right, I'll call you Anne.
Right, I've got a little surprise for you.
Really?
Yeah?
Whip it out.
Hey, listen. Little surprise.
Don't we have to pay Michael Jackson for this? Doesn't he own Happy Birthday?
Did you like that?
Yeah, it was a little previous, Anne. It's not till tomorrow, but thanks
I
anyway.
know, well, we don't really go to bed at 12 o'clock, you know.
Yeah, me too, yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, have a nice day tomorrow.
Thanks a lot.
I'll
Cheers.
see you a week tomorrow.
All right then, ta-da.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. What was I talking about just before that? I was going to say
Surveys
something extremely
of
important.
European women.
Yeah, I think we dealt with that, didn't we? I can't remember.
How
Anyway,
about European men?
no, I'm afraid that they weren't surveyed.
Oh, okay.
There's nothing to complain about here.
Stop whining.
Here is Gerrard's Cross. Hello, Matthew.
Hello there.
Yes, sir.
Hi, I want to tell you some facts and hear your comments on university.
All right, then.
In 1997, 40% of postgraduates said that university had little or no impact on their employment opportunity. What do you think of the change now?
Well, what is the situation now?
Well, think how much more degrees have such an impact on people's jobs now.
In what sense?
Every sense.
Can you be more specific?
Well, like when you found out that you're adopted.
What are you studying?
Adoption.
I would guess English. He expresses himself so well.
He said physics to me.
Physics? Yeah, no, I don't think so. No, you actually have to have a brain. That was great. It was almost like being back at school, wasn't it?
He said it was an odd man.
Well, I don't think man is the right word.
No, that's true.
Here is Edwina. Hello.
Hi, Nick.
Edwina.
Sorry to trouble you again.
What's up?
You know, earlier on you were talking about Star Wars and Star Trek.
Yeah.
Well, my link to you was to talk about Endeavour, you know, the space shuttle.
Right.
That's returned this evening.
Oh, I know, the space shuttle. Isn't that exciting?
Boring! Oh, God, you are in the mood.
Am I? I'm not in a mood.
You really, well, compared to last night, you are in the mood.
Edwina, what are you talking about, dear? Here, I'm coming up to the news now. I'm gonna...
You're gonna say goodbye?
No, I'm gonna ask you to hang on right there, because we've only just begun.
Okay.
All right. Cheers, my dear. You must put my mic on earlier, or I will come in there and throttle you. I mean it. Isn't it ridiculous? I can't even turn on my own mic.
I'm scared now. I'm not going to bring your tea in.
Hey, Edwina.
Hi, Nick.
See, aren't I being happy? H-A-P-P-Y, you betcha.
No, this is going to be difficult for me because you're not interested.
About what?
About Endeavour, you know.
Well, did you hear on the news that nice woman from the Space Centre? She was... I can't remember exactly what she was saying. I just drifted into a coma almost as soon as she started speaking.
Well,
She sounded so bored.
Oh, God. No,
I want to get that audio. Can we get that audio?
Nick.
Yeah.
No, why I wanted to speak to you, because, you know, you're right about so many things.
That's correct, yes.
Now, when the Endeavour was returning to Earth, they were flying upside down and backwards.
Well, I've driven like that a lot of times.
Oh, God. You see, and I'm trying to visualize this, and I wanted to know what was the reason for that.
It's probably there's more protection on the back of it, right? I think the upside down thing was probably just because it happened to be like that at the time.
Yeah, but no, this is not going to help me.
You seem upset about this.
I am. I am very upset.
You're upset that they were upside down and back to
No,
front.
I'm upset because I feel that you're putting up a brick wall and you're not sort of trying to open up and, you know, sort of visualize this and help me, because I'm genuinely trying to understand how that came about, because I was listening to CNN and when they were returning to Earth, and I heard them break the sound barrier, and it was really scary for a moment, because part of the tower and the underbelly of the space shuttle had fallen away when they took off.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
And I thought,
Some
oh
of
my
those
God,
tiles.
this is not going to be a repeat. But it was the sound barrier, and it was quite fascinating hearing that. And then they were going on saying that the shuttle was flying upside down, about 500 miles per hour, which is incredible speed, and backwards. I mean,
Well, I'm sure they weren't actually at the controls doing it. It was all computer-led.
Well, whatever. I mean, can you imagine doing that yourself in an aeroplane?
Well, they were probably having a cocktail
and flying
and a fag at
upside
the
down and backwards. I mean, it must be quite hairy,
Yeah.
you know. But
Last time I flew in Greece, I think I landed like that.
yeah, they clap, don't they? When well, you have to clap when you land.
Yeah, that's right.
Which is yeah. But no. But what's the reason for that? And you're
Well, probably. Well, my guess would be that there's greater shield protection on the back of the thing, which is why they came in backwards. No?
Right.
That would be my guess. Or it just happened to be that they can come in any way they like.
Yeah, because I've never ever heard anyone say that before when they're reporting, you know, them returning to Earth.
Are you genuinely interested still in the space race?
I find it fascinating.
Now, can I ask you a question about this? Because you mentioned it earlier. Are you okay?
Me?
Yeah.
No, I'm kind of. I just feel. I feel it's a bit awkward talking to you this evening. I really, really feel it because.
Well, I'm being okay. I think the problem might lie with you. Maybe you're not having a good day.
No, I've had a very good day. It's just that when I started up the conversation, you just are boring, you know.
Well, yeah.
And
not that you're boring. The space thing is boring.
Why do you say that?
Well, no one's really interested anymore. Be honest.
Why? Why
Because
do you say that?
because nothing is really happening. They go up and they spend some time up there, and then you see a picture of them and they're doing a backflip, and then they come down, and then nothing ever happens, and no one's really interested anymore.
Yeah, but do you know that?
I mean, it's an and finally story on the news rather than the news. You know.
Yeah, but do you know that when they go up there, I not specifically this mission, but when these astronauts go up there, they're conducting experiments that they cannot do on Earth because of the gravity.
And what have they found so far? They've got Teflon, which apparently is killing us slowly. They've even told people not to use Teflon if they're pregnant, haven't they? Because bits of it come off and you eat it, and it'll make your make your baby's head explode or something like that. I don't really know, but there was some scare story about it. And apart from that, what have we had?
Well, there's lots of experiments that they do up there, you know, medical experiments, lots of experiments that can affect our lives, don't they?
Apparently not, because they haven't actually come up with anything yet. I mean, if they've found anything that were like any great breakthrough, we'd have heard about it. Haven't heard a word.
Well, I'm sure there have been, and I mean, I'm not a scientist or a physicist. My uncle was. He was at Sandhurst Military Academy, and you know, he's no longer here.
Do you want me to guess why I think they're still doing it? It's because there's too many people's jobs based on this industry, and the more they go up and say, oh, well, you know, if we only had another $100 billion, then we'd be able to really get some progress here. And so the American government said, oh, well, right then. And then they can just relax and spark up a cigar because their funding is secure. I think they're just doing it to do it. There doesn't seem to be any end result or point. I mean, without the revolution, the next revolution in energy, then we're not going to get very far anyway, are we? Because it takes almost 90, I don't know exactly what to figure, so I'll just pull one from space. 90% of the energy that is actually on board is used up just getting out of our atmosphere. And until we can fix that, we're not going to achieve very much. So it's just puddle jumping, really. And, you know, once you've done it, once you've been to the moon, what's the point in going back? There's nothing there.
They're going back in 2020.
I know. Why? Just because they want to, just because they can say it will secure their funding. It's just about keeping your job.
Do you really honestly believe that?
Yeah, 100%. You know.
Really? Oh, I wish someone more knowledgeable could come on the radio.
Oh, absolutely.
You're wicked.
No, I agree with you. If somebody actually knew what they were talking about, I'd be happy to speak to them. But my belief is, like most scientific endeavour, it's all about the money.
I don't think it's just about the money. Anyway, I'm going to say goodbye to you before I just
well, I don't want you to go in a huff. I mean, are you okay?
I'm not going to go in a huff. I just feel a little sad.
Oh.
Anyway, are you, you're working double shifts tomorrow, are you?
Yes, I am.
Is that why you're a bit, apprehensive? And
Well, I think that you're the only person who's thinking that.
Well, I listen to your voice, and I've listened to you for some time, and, like all of us, we have good days and bad days.
Yeah, I'm having a great day.
Yeah, no, I've heard you speak to some of the callers tonight, and I'm thinking, gosh, I wanted to hear what they say, and you just said,
Well, which one in particular?
Well, there was a chappie, for example, who was obviously first time calling you.
Oh, that guy.
Yeah, I know.
I had him on for ages.
I know, but he could have been a little bit more patient,
Well, no,
with
patient.
him.
By patient, you mean just keep him on, just listen
Well,
to listen to this endless story.
You could have helped him along a little bit.
Well, yeah, but this is not psychology. We're not in therapy here. This is a radio show, Edwina. We can't just bring it to a halt just because someone's been nice enough to call.
I know, but
My job is to entertain, and if it doesn't seem to be going anywhere, then I have to move it along.
Okay.
But listen, Edwina, don't be upset. Everything's fine. It's just a radio show, okay?
Okay.
All right.
God bless.
Bye. What a nice lady.
She is a nice lady.
Make yourself a nice cup of tea, Edwina. Everything's going to be all right. Here's that audio from that woman talking about the shuttle.
Wrapping up a nearly 5.3 million mile mission. Endeavour returning the first educator mission specialist Barbara Morgan to Earth to begin the next step in her journey to inspire future generations to explore, learn, and build a better future.
Yeah, she sounded really inspired, didn't she?
Sounded like a helicopter was landing behind her, not
it
a
sounded like
jet.
it sounded like she was talking about a trip to the supermarket. She was bored out of her mind. I mean, if even the people who are being paid six-figure salaries to oversee this event, if even they aren't interested, then what hope for the rest of us? This is LBC.
97.3. 0870 90 90 973.
Nick Abbott.
I really like you. Do you like me?
Here's Camden Road. Hello, Abby.
Hi.
Hey, Abby.
Listen, I think that poor Edwina, if she wants to be relaxed, she better stop putting that damn annoying voice. She actually does put on so much energy and concentration how she comes across with her voice than the issue she's trying to explain or follow, whatever she's trying to do with it.
What was that bell, by the way? Is it dinner time?
You like it?
What was that?
This is called...
Oh, right. It's one of those put you into a trance things.
Yeah, I think that's good for Edwina to relax her. So she can just say, no more grumpy.
I bet your neighbours love you.
They don't hear it. It's so low. I'm on the basement.
Ah, right. Best place to be, eh?
Yeah, I think you know that issue about how the shuttle turns around.
Yeah.
Don't you think it could be because of the gravity?
How do you mean?
And also when it breaks through the sort of area which is the the Earth's gravitation, when it comes on, I suppose the major part of it, which is where it goes to the space, is the sharp part of it, the pointed one.
Yeah.
So when it's coming back, it kind of gets sucked into the gravity. I think.
You mean they reverse backwards?
Because it's more heavier, I suppose. I don't know.
Right.
I don't know. It just came out to my head after trying hard to
Yeah.
understand what was Edwina about.
Well, after ringing that bell, you got the you got the chimes in your mind, and you maybe got a little bit confused. I understand that. Yeah.
Could it be that one? And also because the speed they're traveling, you don't know how they there is no control. There is no somebody's trying to have a.
You're right. It's very difficult to travel at speed while reversing.
Yeah, exactly. So.
I mean, you've only got the one gear for a start.
And also there is no wheel. You know?
Yeah, that's right. He's busy turning around in his seat, looking out the back window.
Steering wheel. So
and realising he's got no wheel.
How could you? And I don't think the astronaut gonna feel any trouble about that one. They just There's so many other things happening.
Oh,
there.
they're probably drunk, aren't they? They just take it all in their stride. Yeah.
No, I think their brain is rattling. I don't think they worry about, are we going upside down? Or they already are floating in that.
Yeah, upside down, inside out, and round and around. Groovy, baby. All right, thanks a lot, Abby.
Ciao.
Cheers, my dear. Ta-ta. Here is East Ham. Hello, Jenny.
Hi, Nick. I just want to say to your last caller to leave Edwina alone. She is one of the sweetest callers on LBC. I think what she said was really cruel to her.
What I said?
No. Your last caller.
Oh, right. Well, let's not start callers attacking each other, because then we'll just be here all night. It'll be like the World Wrestling Federation.
You shouldn't have said it. Edwina is a very sensitive person.
Yeah, I know that.
And I felt for her, you know. I mean, I don't know what's wrong, but obviously I felt for her. But I just think that Edwina's such a sweet person. She's a really lovely, kind and lovely caller.
Yeah, we love Edwina.
Attack her.
Well,
why is the caller attacking her?
We love Edwina and we love Abby. There's no end of love in our hearts for everybody that calls. And that includes you, Jenny. We love you too.
Thank you. I love you as well.
Cheers, my dear. Ta-da.
Bye.
Here is Denmark. Hello, Anton.
Hi.
Anton.
Hi.
Is radio like this in Denmark?
Well, I'm actually calling to answer Edwina's question.
Oh, okay.
According to a documentary I saw, that in order for the space shuttle to leave the Earth's atmosphere, it actually has to fall out of it. So it turns upside down.
Hang on a minute. Go back. In order to leave
the Earth's not atmosphere, in order to leave the Earth's orbit, which it's travelling in,
right,
it has to stop and fall out of the sky, pretty much. And in order to do that, it has to turn upside down.
Why?
And in doing that, it then falls down into the Earth's atmosphere and down to Earth.
So, right, okay. So for gravity to start
it's spinning round the Earth. I don't know what the speed that is, but it's spinning around pretty fast in order to orbit the Earth.
Let's say 86,000 miles an hour.
Let's pick a figure out of the sky as you do, and in order to stop travelling at that speed, it basically, I can't remember exactly how it does it, but it stops and just basically falls out of that orbit. And in order to do that, it turns around and falls upside down, and in that action, it then tumbles down to Earth and turns around and glides down to a safe landing, hopefully.
Well, I'm trying to picture that in my mind, but of course it doesn't come straight down, does it? Because then it would explode. It has to slip in.
Yeah, kind of slowly. I can't remember if it tips nose down first or tail down first, but I know that it tips upside down and while falling out of this orbit, which is travelling at high speed.
Right.
And then slowly turns round and ends up. I mean, it didn't come down to Earth in the Earth's atmosphere upside down, but at some point it was upside down.
It's an indication of what it's like in Pete Doherty's head. I did a ride like this in Blackpool. Yeah. Okay, I'll write that down and we'll compare it with all the other explanations that we get, and we'll see where we come from. All right.
Okay.
What's it like in Denmark, by the way?
Wet.
Now, tell me about this an ordinary summer in Denmark, because I read that we in Britain are having Scandinavia's weather.
Well, I mean, we've had, I don't know, a week of sun, I think, maybe 2.
But what is it normally like in the summer?
It's variable. I mean, it's pretty good. I mean, the nice thing about summer is it's daylight from 2 o'clock in the morning to 11 o'clock at night.
Right.
So there's lots of sunlight, but it's not necessarily always bright and sunny. But
do you get a lot of rain?
This year we've had nothing but rain.
Right. And is that normal?
Certainly not this much. I mean, they're saying it's record everything.
Okay, so you're getting it bad as well?
Yeah.
Well, as long as the bad's being spread around, that makes us feel a little bit better. All right, thanks a lot, Anton.
Okay.
Cheers, ta-da. Denmark, what, they have the weirdest breakfast in Denmark. It's, you stay in a Danish hotel. In fact, all countries have weird breakfasts, apart from us.
It's something I struggle the most with, because I get very hungry and very angry when I don't get fed.
Yeah, I've noticed.
And So breakfast is a
Edwina
strategic...
was saying that about you, by the way.
No, do you think I might have upset her?
Yeah, I think that's definitely what upset her.
That's what set her off.
Your attitude, yeah.
I was really nice to her.
I'm going to give you 35 pence. You can go and buy yourself a chunky Kit Kat in the machine downstairs.
Oh, I've had the Twix, but I'll buy a Kit Kat if you want another one.
That seems extremely good value for money, by the way, doesn't it? I mean, those things are way more than that. Aren't they more than 35p?
They go up
Maybe they were being subsidised.
I think the canteen is supposed to be slightly subsidised. But I don't know whether it extends to chunky Kit Kats.
Well, we'll give that the address for sweet fans. They can form an orderly queue.
Yeah. Would you eat a chocolate bar that got sent in?
No.
Because you never know, do you?
Why? Someone sent one in?
No. I could... Ian Lee gets sent chocolate bars sometimes.
He doesn't eat them, surely.
I think he gives them to Christian to eat them.
Right, yeah.
A bit like the
Good
king
idea,
had a
yeah.
taster.
Excellent idea, yes. Let's have Mayfair. Hello, Alan.
Hi, Nick.
Alan.
I think you better go and lock Edwina's medicine cabinet tonight.
All right, let's not start attacking Edwina because...
I was bringing up about the Denmark caller. I find it hard for the space shuttle that's probably travelling at 26,000. It's just 26,000 miles an hour, just all of a sudden going to a tumble.
Yeah, that
How do
doesn't
they
sound
control
right.
that?
Well, he did say he saw it on a documentary. If it's on TV, it must be true. That's what Simon Cowell says.
I phoned up because I thought to slow the shuttle down because obviously they've got no braking system on it. I don't want to be come over the phone with. They bank it up in so many. They do so many manoeuvres just to take the speed off it because they just can't come straight in.
Right, so it acts like a kite to slow itself
literally,
down.
They throw it up and they do figure eights on to bring it in, and they bank it up and they turn it upside down and they to slow the shuttle down.
Huh.
And if they're spending millions of pounds to get into space, surely they should have a word with Pete Doherty because he probably gets higher than them on a $20 rap.
Is that how much it is these days? I had no idea.
I don't know. Probably in your day, Nick, it was a lot cheaper.
Yeah, probably, yeah. I'll ask Jimi Hendrix next time I see him, all right.
All right, cheers, Nick.
Thanks a lot, Alan. Charles.
You're catching my accent.
Well, he did come from Mayfair, so Charles.
Charles.
Yeah, they have the worst breakfast in Denmark. I don't know how they can get up in the morning.
Is it sausage?
No, it's sliced cheese, by which I mean bad cheese. Not even cheese that looks like it came from a cow. Cheese with holes in, cheese that's hard, cheese that doesn't actually have any taste. Sliced cheese and various assorted meats. And where they come from, nobody knows.
Sounds right.
Sounds horrible, with boiled eggs.
That's all right.
Yeah. Hideous.
I could have that. What do you like for breakfast?
Porridge.
Porridge is
well, since I had my near-death experience, now I don't have...
Your near-death experience?
Yeah. What did I used to have? I used to have muesli. For about 15 years I had muesli, and I always wondered why I walked around looking like I'd swallowed a football. My gut used to precede me into a room, like at least 5 minutes before I'd get there. I just had giant bloating.
Yeah, you have to watch out when you're a veggie for bloating.
And, muesli was what did it, because I think it's so rough, because I used to get industrial strength muesli, which was so rough it was ruining the inside of my stomach. I'm sure it was.
Grating it.
Yeah, and my stomach was complaining by getting ever larger, so that it almost felt like I needed scaffolding to hold it up.
How do you make your porridge, milk or water?
Well, I tried it with milk and a bit of cinnamon.
Ooh.
And then I thought, no, this is a soft southern thing, so I'll go back to water. Also, for some reason, if you make it with milk, it's almost impossible to get it off the pan.
It does become like wallpaper paste.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
I don't understand porridge. I know you're supposed to eat it, it's healthy, it fills you up, it's revolting, and it's wallpaper paste in my view. Crunchy nut cornflakes.
Well, you might as well eat the box it comes in.
It tastes good though.
No, it doesn't. It's bland. See, all cereals like that, the only reason that people like them is because they don't taste of anything.
I think it's the sugar.
Well,
I think I get high on the sugar.
Yeah.
In a sort of waking up way.
Right.
Well,
yeah, you can boil it down to a syrup and inject it straight in your eyeballs if you like. If you really want to get that high quickly.
No, I'd like I said, I need food and I need sugar fast.
Yeah, but I wouldn't describe crunchy nut flakes of corn as food. It's just a bowl of bland.
What about ricicles?
Well,
at the top of the milk.
It's child's stuff.
I know.
Porridge is an adult's food.
Is porridge a man's meal?
Well, no, not necessarily. Well, it's according to the bloke on the box, it is.
Yeah, that's true. He's wearing a sporran and a kilt.
Yeah, well, yeah, you wear a kilt without a sporran and all sorts of accidents might happen.
Real men.
Yeah, you could get an eyeful.
Woo!
But other countries have the weirdest breakfast, and I think absolutely the weirdest has got to be Mexico. That's the worst breakfast I've ever had in my life.
What do they have there?
Hot food, and by which I don't mean hot as in the temperature, spicy hot for breakfast.
Fantastic.
Well, I stayed in a in one of these campsites because I was going across America, and I arrived very late at night, too late to be clocked in. And I thought if I get up very, very early, because I wasn't in a motorhome. Most people in these campsites have sort of 40-foot motorhomes that are basically like a hotel on wheels, with the air conditioning, the TV, and the satellite, and and the shower and all that stuff. I was just in a two-seater car, and I was sleeping on the ground by the car. But you have to pay the same because it's it's per person, right? So I thought, well, if I get up at 5:30 in the morning before the owner wakes up, I can just slip quietly out. I'm a rebel, and I'll never
I
be
love that.
any good. Yeah, if only I had the music to go with that. And so the nearest thing down the road was a Mexican diner.
Oh, God.
And, first thing in the morning, you do need to...
refuel.
Yeah, loosen yourself up a bit. Because there's no getting around, you can't do anything before you've had your happy morning sit-down, right? So
That's a male thing. As a girl, I won't comment.
I had a Mexican breakfast. Worst meal of my life. I mean, it was just like any other Mexican meal, except it was very early in the morning.
Just sounds horrible.
It was hideous. It was like they reheated last night's dinner. In fact, that's probably exactly what they did do.
What was it? Refried beans?
Yeah, something of that order. Yeah, who wants chili for breakfast? You'd have to be out of your mind.
Ugh.
So that's the worst breakfast I've ever had.
What about Japanese?
Well, okay, I've never been to Japan because to me that's just too foreign.
I don't know what they eat for breakfast.
I've been to Israel, and that's about the best breakfast I've ever had. Fruits that I didn't even know existed. Looked like something out of the plate from Star Wars.
Here's Howard from Halifax. 97.3. 0870 9090 973.
Nick Abbott.
I just want to tell you all how happy I am to be back in the studio.
Now we have a How Low auction that is starting right now. Is that correct? We're giving away top games packages all week in our How Low reverse auctions. Today is no exception. We're giving away a Nintendo YI, complete with a Samsung 26-inch LCD TV. The YI is most people's favourite game console because it doesn't require much waggling of thumb, right? You just sort of wave it around like it's like you just don't care. You can swing the wireless motion sensing controller like a real golf club, tennis racket, or anything you like. It just depends on what you feel like playing. You also have access to 25 years of Nintendo games for download. It's a lowest unique bid competition, this one. Well, that's a competition. It's an auction. It's the lowest bid in pence that nobody else makes by the end of the auction, 11:30 tomorrow evening. Text LBC plus your bid in pence to 88821. For instance, if it was 76 pence, it would be LBC 76 to 88821. Bids cost £1.50 plus your standard network rate. Lines close 11:30 p.m. tomorrow evening. Bidders must be over 16. For full terms and conditions, see all the w's.lbc.co.uk/competitions.
Orky/Dorky.
Here is Woking. Hello, Joyce.
Hello, Nick.
Joyce.
Have you not got a microwave?
I do. I'd never use it.
Well, you should make a porridge in it. Then you don't need to have an awkward pan to clean afterwards.
Well, you might be right, but I did try that.
Bowl, you're going to eat the porridge.
I did try that, and all the porridge burst out of the bowl and covered the microwave. It was one of the few times I've ever used it.
Need a bigger bowl.
A bigger bowl. Well, that would make sense. Yeah.
Bowl. And it works for me.
But I don't like. There's just something about microwaving food, nuking food. It just doesn't seem right.
Well, it sterilises it at the same time.
Does it?
Yeah.
Well, doesn't boiling it do that?
Well, it would if you boiled it. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you have to boil it to make porridge, don't you?
Yes, you do. If you do it that way, yeah.
But I just don't. There's just something about microwaving. I don't think it's not natural.
Well, I do it that way. It's easier. It's quicker. I can do it whilst I'm boiling the kettle to make the tea.
Yeah.
I bought a naughty packet of cereal today.
Naughty,
Naughty, yeah.
but nice.
It's got crunchy bits in, made from wheat and rice and oats.
Mm-hmm.
And it's got dark chocolate
Ooh,
and white chocolate
right.
and milk chocolate, curls, and caramelized nuts.
Do you have children in the house?
No.
Just for you, eh?
No, it's just for me.
That sounds like...
I don't put milk with it, I just eat it out
Eat
of
it
the
straight from the box.
Only
Oh,
little,
Joyce.
Only a little as I fancy it.
Right. Well, a little of what you fancy does you good, right?
Exactly, yeah.
Sounds revolting, by the way.
It's not. It's lovely.
Is it?
Really lovely.
Is it the best quality chocolate that money can buy?
Well, I hope so.
I would imagine that it's
It
just the
comes from a
scrapings from the
reputable
bottom of a machine. It's what?
Comes from a reputable grocer.
Oh, bound to
their own
have
make.
done. Yeah.
They do pecan nut one as well.
Sounds absolutely yummy.
It is quite yummy.
Yeah, good for you too, I bet.
Yeah.
And
A little of what you fancy.
will help you lose weight as part of a
Not really,
calorie-controlled
no.
diet. No.
I just have to keep taking the tablets.
Yeah, well, don't we all? Yeah.
Yeah.
Are they working yet?
No.
No, not really, no.
They're just keeping me ticking over.
Right, what colour are they?
I've got 4 different sorts. I don't worry about the colour. I just take them out of the foil wrapping and sometimes in the semi-darkness because I take them... I wake up fairly early normally when I'm not listening to Anthony on the radio. And I go downstairs and feed my 3 cats. It's about 6-ish.
3?
3?
That's borderline insane, Joyce.
I know,
Get
I
one
know.
more cat and we'll have to call social services, all
I've
right?
had 11 at one point.
Oh!
When they had kittens.
Oh, well, that's all right.
I had... The mother thought she was Siamese.
If you please.
She was only a quarter Siamese. But she was beautiful. She died last year. So, each litter I've kept 1.
Right.
So that's how it is. I have 3 now.
Well, put the rest in a bag, toss them in the river, that sort of thing?
No. I've given the others away.
Of course.
Yes.
Well, it sounds like a delight over at your place. So they always like going, meow, like that, like my
No, they don't
parents.
make a
Every
lot of
time you stop, really?
No, they don't. Not when they've been neutered. They don't really. And they're getting very elderly now. They're about 14 years old now.
My parents' cat, as soon as you stop stroking it, it starts complaining. The moment you stop paying attention, it's meow, 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 which I kind of like. For brief periods. You know, if you can visit it, it's like a screaming child. They're sort of, well, not a screaming child, but a child. They're okay if you can just look at them from a distance, through a pair of binoculars, for instance. But not if you actually own one, eh?
Is it a young cat?
No, it's quite elderly now.
Oh, right.
And won't take any nonsense.
Well, mine don't make much noise at all. We've had a very loud black cat that seems to have lost itself.
Right. If only the dogs around my way didn't make any noise. But, it's constantly like that. Over and on and on and on and on and on.
Mm.
But no, I'm with you. I'm a cat person. They just, they are less noisy. And less stupid.
Yes. Well, Siamese are very intelligent.
Right. Okay, well, listen, enjoy popping your pills with the compliments of the NHS, all right? Wherever it is you got them. All right, cheers, Joyce.
Every time I ask for a repeat prescription, I put a little note into my GP saying, thank you very much for keeping my heart ticking over.
Yeah, slip him a fiver every now and again, just to keep him sweet.
Somebody on the radio, a doctor on the radio said last week not to give statins to the over 60s so as to prevent them from having heart attacks, because it's better if they die from a heart attack than live long enough to have something worse.
Oh, then I bet he wasn't a very old man, eh?
It was a woman.
Oh, well, like I said, yeah.
Exactly.
If she still thinks that way in 20 years' time, I'll be very surprised.
Well, same here. I mean, I'm going to live now because perhaps by the time there's something worse might come along, they might have found a cure for it.
Yeah, well, every time you read in the newspaper that, they've cured this and they've cured that, and they're about to do this, that and the other, you think, blimey, if they keep going at this rate, I'll never die.
Yeah, but it's all going to come up in 10 years' time, isn't it?
Yeah, always later, isn't it? Hey. All right, thanks a lot, Joyce.
Okay, bye-bye.
Cheers, mate. Ta-ta. Gravesend. Hello, Sue.
Hi there, Nick. Oh, I'd rather die of a heart attack, I think. You know, it's quick, you know. You wouldn't know about it, would you?
We did death a lot on the show last night. Let's not do death again tonight. eh?
No, but you're going to think about it, you know. Wouldn't you rather go quickly? You know.
I would rather go in, what are you waving your hands around for,
No,
Georgina?
no more death.
Right.
Please, no more death.
No, I won't go there.
All right.
I won't go there. I won't go with cats either, because I've got 3, so I'm borderline weirdo.
Yeah, borderline, yeah. Be very aware of your
Breakfast,
situation.
is that all right?
Huh?
Breakfast, is that okay?
What, to talk about?
Yes.
Yes, go on with your bad self.
Well, if you have to have breakfast...
You have to have breakfast.
Mine usually consists of 3 cups of practically black tea, because I get up at very weird hours. It's my lifestyle. Yeah, but if you have to have breakfast, either have porridge with salt or have porridge biscuits.
Biscuits?
Mm.
What's a porridge biscuit?
Well, it's like... May I mention a supermarket?
What, is it Waitrose?
No.
Sainsbury's? Netto?
No, Waitrose is good, but Tesco's actually, their own sort of porridge biscuits. It's like oatmeal biscuits, and they've only got salt and oatmeal,
Porridge and
obviously.
salt. You know, I mean, I know that's supposed to be a hard Scottish thing, but...
Yeah, but, you know, 2 of those, and you know...
You're right as rain.
You're right as rain.
That's what they used to do in the old days. They used to cook up a giant bucket of porridge.
They did, and then they did griddle cake.
Of a
you see,
Monday.
which is the same thing as these biscuits.
Yeah, and because if you cook porridge from scratch, it takes forever. You've got to soak it overnight, and you've got to cook it for
something like
hour
Quaker
upon
oats or
endless
something,
hour.
don't
Yeah,
you?
but in the old days, I'm saying, when they used to make actual porridge, it was a really long process. And so they didn't want to do it every day, so they did it at the beginning of the week.
That's
and then
right.
they used
and
to...
then you let the mixture solidify, and then of course you just sort of
You'd
scrape
fry
it
it.
out with something very sharp and do the griddle cake.
Yeah, that's right. And then you'd give it to your man as he took it off down pit.
Exactly, yeah.
Wherever it was he was going.
You've got the idea, haven't you? Yeah.
All right. Thanks a lot, Sue.
Okay.
Cheers, ta-da.
Bye.
Yeah, other countries' breakfasts.
American breakfasts, hash browns. I dream
I
about
like
them.
that.
Oh,
yeah.
they're good.
Like, well, first time I went to America, I had no money at all, or I had a significant amount of money, and I was going there for 3 months, and I spent half of the money that I took with me in 1 week in New York. Which was a big mistake. And so from that moment on, I lived on breakfasts, which, if you time it just right, you can get there at 11 o'clock, which is when they mostly stop serving it.
Yeah.
And you can eat a gigantic amount of food for almost no money at all, and it would keep you for the rest of the day.
Things like the way they have pancakes. You know, they have eggs and bacon and potatoes, and then pancakes as well. As you do.
That's weird, though. My wife does that, 'cause she's Canadian, and they put maple syrup and meat and pancakes on the same plate.
Syrup and meat?
Yeah, how weird is that?
That's strange.
Well, Canada's a very weird place.
They are, that's true.
I thought lots of people in Canada got stoned all the time.
On the West Coast.
What?
Yeah, no, that's what I'd heard about. That's the only thing. I didn't know 3 things about Canada. Moose, or the plural probably is meese. Moose.
Mice, I think, is
Mice.
the plural. Yeah.
Mooses. The syrup, and that they all get stoned all the time.
That's one of the silliest things I've ever heard in my life. Canadians get stoned all the time.
Oh, that's
what, as opposed to the British, you mean?
No, honestly, in Canada, more than the British, I have heard in Canada. And look, and you just supported me, didn't you?
They do grow a lot of it on the West Coast, yeah.
You see?
They do what?
Grow a lot of stuff on the West Coast that...
Marijuana.
It's then sneaked across the border. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they
The
sell it
Americans.
to America.
Yes.
I still every Canadian I've ever met has been a bit of a stoner. Can you libel a country?
No.
Good.
You can't libel an organisation either, just a person. So let's start picking Canadian...
Yeah, let's pick them off one by one.
Yeah. Well, there's Gordon Lightfoot, for a start, and then there's,
I only know the Prime Minister. Is he called... I'm sure he doesn't smoke dope at all.
Yeah.
But he's called Mr. Harper, I think.
Oh, hey, Mr. Harper.
Want to score some pot?
Mr. Harper.
I'm sure Mr. Harper would say no.
I've never even heard of him.
Or Steve to his mates.
Steve
That's
Harper.
it, I'm right, aren't I? Yeah.
The Prime Minister of Canada.
Yeah. And they call it the Prime Minister as well.
Joni Mitchell, she's Canadian.
Oh, Alanis Morissette.
Right.
She's a cheerful lady.
Yeah, you're right. You were right all along. And I doubted you.
Nice, I'm always right.
Bryan Adams, he's a Canadian.
He is a Canadian. He
Used to be. Not anymore.
Isn't he anymore?
No.
What is he now?
He's now a Brit.
He's a what?
He's a British person. He's got a passport and everything.
Yeah, well, yeah, him and that geeky tennis bloke, they're not British, they're Canadian. I don't care what it says in their passport.
That's fair enough.
Oh no, can we have Rosetsky? He's half decent at tennis.
No, he isn't. He's not half decent at tennis. The last person that we produced that was half decent at tennis was
John Lloyd.
No, there was a woman, and she was the one that won in the Queen's Jubilee year. Do you remember? Can you remember back that far? I want to say Yvonne Goolagong, but
she's Australian.
Yeah,
doesn't sound very English.
I wanted to say it just because I like saying Yvonne Goolagong.
Goolagong.
What was her name? It was
I don't know, I'll have to
that
tap.
female tennis player who and it was a glorious moment. That was back when tennis was interesting. You remember when tennis was interesting, don't you?
No.
That was years ago, decades ago, when Jimmy Connors was playing and that Romanian, whatever his name was.
Nastasi.
Ilie Nastasi. I passed him in the street the other day. It's very weird. You see somebody famous and you think, I know you. Why do I know you? Do I know you, or what? And your brain starts to it falters. But I realised after he'd passed that it was Ilie Nastasi. Why you keep nodding at me?
I'm trying to encourage you to go to the break, but I'm not helping because it's not on the screen.
What is it? Is it second specific?
No, not at all. Not at all.
Well, shut up then.
It's the only producing I do, so
right.
I feel like I ought to try.
Then I will pay attention.
Are you disappointed?
97.3.
0870 90 90 973. Nick Abbott.
Come on, we're running late!
Yeah, sorry about that. Wembley. Hello, Jackie.
Hello, are you trying to think of Virginia Wade?
Virginia Wade is the right answer. Yeah, that was when back when tennis was interesting, eh?
Well, it was good then.
What was the year that she won? It was the Queen's Jubilee. It was something like that.
No, I can't remember what the actual year was.
Right. There was some reason why it would have been good for her to win that year. I remember that. And everyone was beside themselves when she actually did. No one could believe it. We won something.
We've had no one since then, have we?
Not one single person, no.
No.
The nearest we come is some geeky, tall Canadian bloke who's pretending to be English.
It's true.
What a sorry state of affairs, eh? And now Timmy has decided to retire. Timmy! We won't be able to shout that anymore. And hold our head in our hands while we do it. But we'll have to choose another sport. You know, one that's interesting, Jackie, like, I don't know. Name one.
Football?
Football is, yeah, that's absolutely right, yeah, football.
Now, are we going to win tomorrow night or lose?
I'm predicting 5-1.
Well, when I finish work tomorrow night, I'll give you a ring and let you know what the score was.
No, don't do that. It'll be on the news every half hour. No need.
Oh, I can phone you and give you a running commentary if you like.
No, that's all right, Jackie. I'll have it on the telly.
Okay, then.
All right, thanks a lot. Ta-da.
Bye.
1977, is that when it was? It was the punk year. What a great year 1977 was. The Sex Pistols were kept off number one by a disapproving authority, and it was... I can't remember what the song... Was it Muller Kintyre or something chronic like that that kept God Save the Queen off number one in 1977? It was oh, no, it was Do You Think I'm Sexy, wasn't it, by Rod Stewart, which had been number one for about 12 weeks. And then the Sex Pistols burst into the chart on the Queen's Jubilee week with God Save the Queen, and the authorities conspired to keep it from the number one spot. Boo, hiss. Exactly.
I don't remember it, I'm afraid.
I was mortified. 17 years old I was at the time, which is the perfect age to be in 1977. You want to be 17 in 77 or 67 or 87. They do come around.
They do.
Teenage revolutions and rebellions do come around with great regularity. It was almost every 10 years. 67 was the summer of love. 77 was the summer of hate. That was the punk years. 87, wasn't 87 the second Summer of Love?
Oh,
where everyone was wearing a smiley T-shirt and had a luminous glow stick in their mouth.
Different type of love.
Yeah, that's right.
What about 97? I
don't think anything happened at all.
I was 18 in 97.
Which was a great year to be, and you were all ready for something to happen, and nothing,
then nothing did.
Yeah.
At all.
Oh dear, what a disappointment,
So
never
depressing.
mind. Because if you went back further, 57, that was the year of rock and roll, right?
Oh, yeah.
That was the peak.
That was
so
Elvis.
it's all the sevens. Well,
so what's happening this year?
What year? 2007?
Yeah, 2007. We missed one last decade. Nothing happened in 97. I think
floods.
I think it's quite possible that music's just been done now. Everything's been done under the sun, like Pink Floyd said.
Yowza.
They're going backwards now. Everything's a repetition of
Everything's being plundered, yeah. They think they're doing something new, but that it's actually really, really old, which for people who heard it the first time makes it...
boring.
Yeah.
I remember when I was younger, I loved Westlife. I shouldn't admit that, but I did. I was a lot younger.
You can't take it back now, either.
I know, it's out there, isn't it? And then it'll be podcast, and it's never going to disappear.
No.
But I never knew.
You're very loud.
Oh, sorry again. I never knew that they're...
You're very quiet.
No, don't do that to me. You're just messing with my head now.
Yes.
And I never knew that all their songs had been done before.
Who?
Westlife songs. They just did covers after cover.
Are you still talking about Westlife?
Sorry. We can talk about breakfast again if you want.
Well, I suppose that's one of the reasons why they do it, because these songs that all these insipid boy bands do have been done before, they've been tested on previous generations. And if a song can be a hit for one generation, then that almost by definition means that it's a great song. It's a catchy number. It will pass the old grey whistle test. You know what that was, right?
No.
Tin Pan Alley.
Who? You're going to have to start right at the beginning.
Could be here a while, Nick.
Yeah, we'll skip over that bit. But
Okay.
basically, if you could hear a tune once, if an old man, as in old grey, could hear a tune once and then whistle it, it passed the test.
Oh,
the
it was going to be a hit.
grey whistle test.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
That's what that is.
But so I read somewhere in some magazine that said that now that pop music's 40 years old, isn't it time for a new type of music? Like rock and roll's gone, pop music's been done.
It's hard to
What's
imagine
next?
what could possibly come next. Hasn't everything been done now? I mean, after hip-hop, which
love
was
hip-hop. Yeah, I love hip-hop.
And Westlife.
I love hip-hop. I've progressed.
You are the whitest person who has ever uttered those words.
I know. Do you
love
think they approve these kind of amazing black guys who are gangsters?
Well, Kanye West was on the news. He just did a gig in London. And how many people got shot?
None. Very disappointing.
Round it up to the nearest 10.
Yes, it's very disappointing. He's not cool anymore. No one got shot.
But it's hard to imagine where it could go next, because we've had like electronic music, ambient music, hip hop, and all that sort of mash it up stuff. There isn't anything left.
As long as it doesn't go panpipe, that's fine.
There used to be ads wherever you looked that lasted. They weren't an ordinary 30-second spot. They lasted for a minute and a half. The pan pipes of wherever it was.
Yeah.
What was that?
The Andes.
Oh, it was amazing.
The Andean
popular.
pan pipes. That sounds about right, yeah.
And how did they have so much money to pay for the adverts?
Well, I think that those were the type of records that weren't available in the shops for very good reasons.
That and Enya. Although she is available in the shops.
Yeah, is she ever? And when the year-end Rich List comes out, once again, Enya's made £50 million. How does she keep doing it?
Who buys the records?
Yes, please, people, stop buying Enya.
London's LBC 97.3.
0870 90 90 973.
Nick Abbott.
Well, let's get back to it.
Here's one in Dagenham. Hello, Jeff.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good, thanks.
Right, you talk about the 1970s. You can't beat the 1970s punk rock.
I know.
Hello?
I know, I was there.
You was there. I was in a band, actually. We called ourselves Deceptive Vision.
Deceptive Vision?
Yes.
Right, no, I haven't,
No, you wouldn't have heard of us. Right. It was up in Lincoln.
Okay.
But everybody misses out the best group from the 1970s. and they're still going now, and that's the Stranglers.
Are the Stranglers still going?
They're still going, and they'll be playing in Roundhouse up in Camden Town in November. And it's still, there's 3 original members out of the 4.
Playing at the Roundhouse in November. Bring your own strippers.
It is. Well, just like they used to at Battersea.
Yes.
Why not? Yes, exactly.
That first Stranglers album, I liked it a lot, but I couldn't listen to it for any length of time because it gave me a headache because the bass was so very loud.
But that's what makes the Stranglers so good.
Yeah, but you know what? It's the same with The Clash. After the first album, I was like...
But the Stranglers brought an album out last year, and it's even better than the first one.
Oh, I seriously doubt that.
Oh, it is. It's actually better than the first one. I was really shocked. And I've got all of them.
So they've still got the French chop socky guy. He used to be a kung fu fighter.
He's still there, yeah. Right. They've got all the original members except for Hugh Cornwall. He's left.
Why? it's like once you've lost your singer, then there goes the band, really.
No, not really, because they've got a great singer in Baz Warm.
Right. Baz Warm. If you weren't a rock star, then you'd pretty much have to just give up, wouldn't you, if your name was Baz Warm?
Isn't it fantastic that along come the 70s and we got rid of disco?
Now, I'll have to raise a finger of complaint there, because I like punk, but I also like disco.
Oh, you've obviously got real problems.
Yeah, I must do, yeah. I'm one of those people that doesn't, close my mind to other things. Just because I like one thing doesn't mean to say I can't like other things as well.
I like all sorts, but disco is just the one thing that only people with 3-wheel cars liked it.
3-wheel cars? Is that a euphemism? Yeah. No, perhaps not.
No.
Open your mind to disco. I double dare you. You never know, you might like it.
I thought you had to open your shirt and show a medallion.
Yeah.
That's it. It killed it, didn't it? It died. And it's never come back.
What, dance music?
Well, no, dance music has, but disco didn't, did it? Not as in all that rubbish as in the 70s. And punk rock revitalised music. It gave us something extra.
It gave people the notion that they could actually get up there and do it themselves. It was like a DIY phenomenon, really, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It made music exciting again.
You could see a band for 50 pence.
Yeah.
And it was fantastic. And it was brilliant. I went to a place called Retford near Nottingham. I went to go and see Slaughter and the Dogs, and they couldn't make it. The Gang of Four turned up instead.
Well,
that'd do.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks for walking us down memory lane, Jeff.
No problem.
All right. Cheers, mate. Ta-da.
Cheers.
So how many punk bands have you seen then, Georgia?
Andy's just been taking the mickey out of me about Westlife. It's not my fault. I went through a bad music phase.
Not your fault?
I was at Newcastle University, and actually now I'm admitting it wasn't that long ago. I've progressed since then. Oh, my caller's gone. It was Craig. He was really nice. Sorry.
Right.
I feel like it's my fault.
It's like a dating service now.
Craig in Epping, he was a really nice guy. He was going to phone up about music. He was a first-timer, though.
Oh, right.
So I think maybe he's a bit nervous.
Yeah, I would think so. Plus, we've only got 50 seconds, so we wouldn't have been able to take him anyway.
That's true.
Oh, well, what a pity. Never mind.
Never mind. Never mind.
Yeah, so we're going to have to talk about something other than punk rock and disco. Otherwise, there'll be like a coming together of disparate groups after the show, and there'll be a fight in the car park, and you'll be out there going, "No, don't do it, it's not worth it."
Separate yourselves.
Yeah. Here, hold my coat. It's practically 12 o'clock, and you know what that means, don't you?
It's 12 o'clock.
7-3.
Nick Abbott.
Okie dokie.
I just find that amusing. I don't know why. Hey, did you play golf? You went to a posh boarding school. You must play golf, right?
No, I'm useless. I dig instead of hit the ball. Just dig.
I air.
Do you?
I hit the top of the ball and it goes just trundles along the ground for about 5
Well, there's
yards.
a skill to that.
I hate that.
I just hate golf. I get really agitated by silly rules in the clubhouse.
You know what? The worst thing about golf is you've hit the nail right in the head. People who play golf.
Yes. Yes.
With their obsession about rules. You got to tuck your shirt in, and you got to have it, and your shirt's got to have a collar, and you can't do this, and you can't do that.
Girls can't go in a vest top. And
No.
I mean, that just drives me... What's wrong? Why? Are the men going to collapse because of a woman's shoulder?
A vest top?
That's just outrageous. They drive me up the wall. And the silly shoes and the pathetic tartan. Sorry.
Wow, I really opened a can of worms here. I had no idea you felt so strongly. I'm beginning to become frightened. Well, I'm so very bad at it, but then I read about this guy and it made me feel a little bit better. Budding golfer Rich Hurst played the worst round of golf that has ever been recorded, taking 202 shots to complete an 18-hole course. Rich, 25, who had just bought a £400 set of new clubs, shot an incredible 133 over the 69 par. He also lost 17 balls, broke his 5-iron when he hit the ground taking a swing, took 23 shots on the 400-yard 10th hole, 23, and 12 on the tiny par 3 18th. After his disaster, he admitted it was a nightmare. I got 19 on the first hole and felt like giving up right then. But my partner persuaded me to carry on. By the end, it was quite embarrassing, and I think I'll give up my dream of being the next Tiger Woods. Yeah, good idea. I feel much better now. Hey, Bill's next.
0870 90 90 973.
Nick Abbott.
Right, so what are we doing?
Well, there was a few things that were thrown up by the news, which I thought were worth mentioning, even if briefly. This Philip Lawrence thing, this keeps going and going and going. And I was talking about this briefly last night, and I don't want to really take any calls about it because I have a fair idea of what everyone's going to say. But this Chindamo, whatever his name is, we're trying to send him back to Italy when he gets released. Okay, come to find out that he hardly spent any time of his life in Italy. He left there when he was 5 and grew up here. So if a country is responsible for the actions of its people, then it's our fault. Now, I know that's not true, but you'd think that Italy would want to see him come to their shores? Of course not. I mean, think of it from Italy's point of view. They don't want him any more than we do. But the whole issue, it seems bizarre to me. He got life. Why are we even discussing about him being released? I don't get it. Like, that mystifies me. He got a life sentence, and we've been having a conversation nationally about this for 2 days now, about what's going to happen when he's released. How do the two match up? I'm genuinely confused about that. What does life in prison mean if it doesn't mean life in prison? They're just lying to us again. Mendacity is what it is.
You know what I think about this.
Yes, and you're wrong. And the other thing is the Heathrow thing. They said that they were having a study with a couple of thousand people that they met in a park, something like that. Sounded slightly suspicious. At night, was it? I see. They were going out and asking people what they thought about the Heathrow expansion and consequently what they thought about the Heathrow climate camp, or whatever they're calling it. But they didn't actually tell us what the results of the survey was. Do we know that the results of the survey? They were just giving us
a temptation. Maybe it was a tease.
Yeah, keep listening and we'll tell you. But I think the bottom line is they're all right. All those people in
they're in a field just outside Heathrow, aren't they? Oh, you already said that.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I know that. we all know that.
Night's dark too.
Oh, hey, the Endeavour returned safely. There's a picture of it with a giant flag out the back.
Parachute.
Yeah.
I was quite impressed how it just landed like a normal plane. I mean, I know that that's what it's meant to do, but...
What, instead of smashing into the earth in a billion bits?
In short, yeah. But it's only exciting when it does that, isn't it?
Hey, look at this. A rare dead star found near Earth. Click on that. Let's see what that is. Astronomers have... Ooh, what a pretty picture. Astronomers have spotted a space oddity. Hey, David, it's a space oddity. A dead star with some unusual characteristics. Ooh. The object, known as a neutron star, was studied using space telescopes and ground-based observations. This one, located in the constellation Ursa Minor. Where's that, then?
Bear.
Seems to... My question, where's that? You said bear.
Well, it's in the bear area.
Oh, the bear area?
Yeah, of the
right,
sky.
yeah, I've got one of those, yeah.
Yeah.
Details of the study by a team of American and Canadian researchers who had nothing better to do will appear in the Astrophysical Journal. Oh, what a great read that is. I keep it in the bathroom. If confirmed, it will be only the 8th known isolated neutron star, meaning a neutron star that does not have an associated supernova remnant binary companion or radio pulsations.
That clears it up.
Definitely, that's much clearer now, yeah. But and the Heathrow people, they're all correct in everything they say.
Yes.
But massively deluded if they imagine for a second that any of it's going to change.
Well, and also why hanging around in a field just outside Heathrow is going to make the slightest bit of difference.
Well, hanging around in a field gets the nation's press pointing at their camera in their face. I mean, if they just sort of wandered around muttering it to themselves, then we wouldn't be reading about it on a daily basis. But if they all go and knit their own yurts and live in them for a couple of weeks, then yeah, we're suddenly interested. And the press.
Sorry, you know that yurts have holes in them in the roof.
Well, yeah, to let the stale air out.
But doesn't that make them completely pointless as a system of protection from the elements?
No, but I'm glad you asked.
Sorry, moving on.
Where was I?
Sorry, you were talking about protesting, not muttering under their breaths.
Right. Yeah, and the press was busy painting them as, well, anything from Nazis to anarchists to communists to terrorists to any other word that ends in ists.
They did, you're right, they did get on the front pages for basically a week.
And all they've done is superglued their face to a window. And not many of them did that.
I'm really impressed by that. As indirect or direct action.
I think that's really stupid.
No, I mean, they can't get rid of you, can you?
Well, of course they can. They can just pull you off and the skin from your hands stays on the window. And then some bloke has to come and soap it off.
They're quite brave, though.
Meanwhile, you've got no fingerprints anymore.
Ooh. You'd have to go and touch murder weapons and things.
This is a stream of consciousness. I'm not
sorry, it's after midnight. I might go quiet, yeah.
I think you need grounding. You need a bowl of crunchy nut cornflakes or something like that.
I've got my tea. I'll drink some tea and stay quiet.
I don't think any more drugs would be a good idea. Let's have Epping. Hello, Craig.
Hello there, how you doing?
I'm all right, thanks.
All right, yeah. I was just listening earlier about what you were saying about, like, the 78, 68. I'm 18 now.
Yeah.
And what you're saying about like the genre of music around nowadays is just totally rubbish.
No, I didn't say that. I just said that everything's been done under the sun. Yeah, no, there's a lot of great music around right now, but there's no one unifying movement, which is what happened in 57 with rock and roll, 67 with the whole hippie thing, 77 with punk, 87 with acid, and since then there's been no great sort of youth movement. It's been very disparate.
Well, that's it. I mean, when I was 14. My dad got me into punk and that. I used to go around in my bondage trousers and that. I went to see Sex Pistols play at Crystal Palace on a reunion gig. I used to be like their biggest fan.
How was that?
That was brilliant. I was like the youngest in the audience and it was, yeah, amazing.
All these old geezers with bright orange hair.
That's it. I just say I've got some brilliant photographs.
Didn't he say at the end, don't you feel like you've been ripped off or something like that? Didn't Johnny Rotten say that?
Cheated. Yeah, yeah. He played on what he said on his older gig.
Right.
But, yeah, and then now, 18, I'm into all, like, Pink Floyd, and basically what you were saying earlier, and the next kind of, like, 68, 69, and basically, just, it's all just old stuff. I mean, I'm in a band now, called Caligula. And
hey, that's not a bad name for a band.
No, it is. We're not really like the name. We're not really.
Caligula. It is 4 syllables. You'd be better off with 2.
Yeah, but Caligula. Caligula. That does sound pretty good.
It does, yeah. I bet you actually haven't heard an audience shouting that to this point.
Well,
you can only dream, eh?
Yeah. But yeah, you should check us out. You might like us since you said about the whole Sex Pistols and Pink Floyd.
Oh, absolutely will.
Yeah, Caligula Rock, MySpace.
Okay.
No, it's great speaking to you.
All right, well done, Craig.
Right,
You got the maximum number of permitted plugs in that one call. Let's have our favourite rock chick. It's Tallulah.
Hello, you.
Hey, you.
Hi.
How's it going? How's your parrot?
Oh, yeah. You know what?
What?
I've got a landline now since a week.
Oh, yeah, because you were cut off from the rest of the world.
Yeah, but only because I wanted to check if I'm, dependent. You know, it's dependency checkup. It's a year ago. I did say I don't think I need it, and it didn't hurt. And now I need it, and I've got it back, and it's good. And
so you removed yourself from modern technology, from modern communications technology, by getting rid of the phone. Did you also get rid of your computer?
No. I
Get
had
that through a
mobile
wire.
phone.
Right, okay.
Yeah, so it was not that bad, but it's good to check up, you know, you don't get cold turkey or nothing. But, you know what, then I have the answer machine, and you know what, I tried to put an answer message on my answer machine, and I did not like it. And I thought, well, you know what, I'm going to put my budgie on there. And one take, and the budgie is the owner of the answer message, outgoing message.
Can we hear it?
Well, I think I could. Wait.
Be careful you don't erase it. Press the wrong button. Have you read the instruction manual?
Did you hear that?
It said, I love you.
He said, hi, I love you.
Oh, I'm feeling ill.
Oh, don't. He's cute.
That's actually one worse from the thing that really annoys me from answer machines, and every time I hear it, it just... and some people, they never change their answer machine message, and every time you call them, it's the same annoying thing. People who put their children on answer machine records. Will you stop doing it? I mean it. That is so annoying. They think it's cute, is the thing, because they're so very obsessed with their children, and that's all they can talk about, on and 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 on.
But you know, Nick, they worked very hard to have them.
Well, it didn't seem like work at the time. Ever since, absolutely.
Someone I know who's got this on this answer machine. You know that one?
Well, it's the Three Stooges, right?
Oh, do you know it?
Yeah.
I've got it from America, so someone's put this on the answer machine, but I don't like copying things, so I thought I'd do my own bit.
Always do something original, yeah.
Absolutely. But did you know there's something really weird, because there are people who can't live without having an immediate breakfast, and there are some people who just can't eat the first thing in the morning.
You should eat first thing in the morning. I can't, we'll have to dance delicately around this, but I can't begin to conduct my day without first having a happy morning sit-down, which is, and a good breakfast, porridge especially, is just the thing that will enable such a occasion.
Tradition, yeah.
Yeah.
But how come that some people really, really need the breakfast first thing in the morning?
Everyone does.
Hmm?
Everyone needs a breakfast first thing in the morning, because you break your fast. That's what that means.
Well, if to me, it's like, I cannot eat the first thing in the morning. It takes about 3 hours before I start to eat.
Well, what do you eat when you start to eat?
When I start to eat, something like crackers that you can't eat in 2 minutes.
Crackers?
Yes.
What, dry crackers?
Yeah, but because I scientifically sorted it all out.
What? What do you mean? You'd huh?
I start with liquid.
Yeah.
Like water.
Mm-hmm. Booze. Yes.
And then I have a coffee, a real McCoy coffee in the German way, you know, the real stuff.
Cold?
Coffee, the real McCoy.
Oh, I thought you said cold. McCoy, right. German coffee. I don't know. Is that any good?
the German way, like filtering, no instant and so.
Right, no, you wouldn't
Yeah,
want that muck, no.
Yeah. Well, and then I've got soup, and then I wait another 1 hour, and then I've got the crackers to.
And you eat dry crackers?
Yeah, but only for a little while because they, if there are any acids left, they suck it up.
Huh. Well, no wonder you can't face breakfast if that's what you eat first thing in the day. Good grief, I wouldn't want to eat either.
Yeah, but then later it's done really with salad and all that.
Oh,
That's
right,
good
then you
for
really get stuck in.
Yeah.
Well, why not?
But I'm a bunch of energy, so I must be right.
You are, you're doing something right. There's like a Duracell bunny you are. I don't know how your bird can keep up.
He does, he sleeps every now and then and says, leave me alone.
Yeah, I would too, yeah. So how have you been then?
Oh, you know what? Yeah, well, absolutely wonderful. But you are absolutely right. When you suddenly see somebody famous, you can't put one together, and you think, hang on, where do I know this person?
And they must get that all the time.
Yeah, and it happened to me with Simon Cowell at Harrods.
Simon Cowell was in. Okay, so we must. Can I have to go to an ad break? So I'm past a break, but I want to hear what happened with you and Simon Cowell and Harrods. All right.
Okay.
Hang on right there.
London's LBC 97.3.
Yeah.
870 90 90 973. Nick Abbott.
Well, let's get back to it.
Right, so there you were in Harrods, minding your own affairs, and then. And then you looked up, and the bright, shining face of Simon Cowell was there, eh?
Yeah, but...
In which department, by the way?
Well, it was downstairs at the... It was in the food store.
In the food store, right.
Yeah. And I just saw this face, and I thought... I actually thought he was a technician from my brother's band, Scorpions. And I said to him, hey, how are you?
Well, he must have loved that.
Well, he just thought, I thought he was Simon Cowell, but I thought he was a technician of my brother's band.
Right. Because, let me explain, her brother is Michael Schenker, genuine rock god, who was in UFO and Scorpions and Michael Schenker Group and so on and so forth. I play him at the other place on an almost daily basis. Georgia's got a look of deep confusion on her face.
I've no idea.
Right, I'll send you some CDs in the post.
Thank you.
So what did he say?
Well, and as soon as I said, hey, how are you? My brain clicked, and I thought, oh, wow, that's Simon Cowell. So within all those seconds, I suddenly realized what a mistake I made.
Yeah.
And then I just continued, and it was at an early stage, and I said, oh, hey, Simon, you're not really as bad as that press put you, and blah, blah, blah. And his girlfriend actually realized that I was from the Scorpion side, and she says, oh, I know your brother. He's really cool.
You're kidding.
No, it's cool. It is true.
Because I would have thought that he would have had security. It'd be jumping all over you.
No, there was his girlfriend, and the girlfriend knew my brother, and then we were in a little family atmosphere, so to speak.
Ah.
She says, oh, I love your brother, he's cool. And then, well, it was funny, because it all went 38, 36, 360 degrees, and we came back at the other end.
Like the space shuttle, yeah.
Exactly.
Huh. And so what was he shopping there for? A teeth whitening kit? Something like that, was it?
Well, I think he just enjoyed himself.
Oh, he does that, yeah. No end of it, yeah.
I saw him more than once. I saw him later than again. They were just shuffling around and having a good look at, sausages and all these things.
Yeah, undoubtedly, yeah. Was he in the pec implant section?
No, I think he's a cool guy. He's very active on MySpace.
He is?
And, yeah.
Simon Cowell's got a MySpace site.
Oh, yeah.
I have 2 MySpace sites, but neither of them are anything to do with me. They're just other people who are using my name. So is that the same with him? I can't imagine that he would actually want to converse with the general public.
Well,
I mean, he sees enough of them on his little show.
Yeah, but, there's, when you want to be in touch with what's going on, You might do it yourself.
No.
Or you might pop in and you have an extra. But I popped in a picture of mine on one of yours today.
Right. Well, that means almost nothing to me, but...
Well, I just say rock and roll picture and saying, that's it. That's what, well, if you have not connect. But I just visited one of your sites and said, hello, you.
I suppose every now and again I should actually visit these sites that are in my name, just to see what's being perpetrated in my name. I should go home and look up myself.
Very much so, because you get a different angle to what's going on.
Yeah, and normally for that you'd need 2 mirrors. Yeah, you're right.
And for a change, it's nothing to do with breakfast news or whatever.
Yeah.
It's to do with you.
Good. All right, well, you keep on keeping on, Tallulah. Hey, what did you buy from the food hall, by the way?
Oh, I always buy little Wiener sausages, the German ones.
Ah, some schnitzel.
Yeah.
Isn't that what that's called?
Sauerkraut.
Right. With some choucroute to go with it.
Sauerkraut.
Yeah, choucroute. Don't they call it choucroute?
No, sauerkraut.
No, I think in Germany they call it choucroute. I think I'm right about that. Because I spent some time in the Black Forest, and the choucroute is what they eat. It's chopped up bits of bacon and cabbage, and you know what that'll do to you? That's right. And never go in a ski lift after a big bowl of choucroute.
I like you to be very direct and not moving around,
Yeah, don't move around too quickly after you've eaten a lot of that. That's right. Okay, thanks a lot, Tallulah.
Okay, then.
Cheers, my dear. Ta-da.
Bye.
Here is Shepherd's Bush. Pressing it. Hello, Katie.
Oh, hello.
Katie.
Hello.
How are you?
Fine, thank you.
Great.
And you?
Super, thanks for asking.
It's okay.
So what's up?
Oh no, I was just going to say, I actually watched the Endeavour launch from Florida.
What? You mean you were in Florida?
Yeah, on holiday.
Oh, right, okay. How near can you get?
You can't actually get that near. I had to watch it from across the water. Yeah,
Okay.
we were.
Well, that
it
must have
wasn't
been
very interesting.
It wasn't very interesting.
No, I was expecting something a bit more. It was a very tiny little puff of smoke rising into the air, and that was about it.
Well, how far away were you? Miles and miles.
No, I was actually, a few miles away. Quite a few miles, but you can't get very near to it.
But wasn't it a tremendous noise?
It was quite big, but I was expecting something more.
Right.
It wasn't that amazing.
Not impressed with interstellar travel, eh?
No,
Huh.
it wasn't. But it was quite good. Everyone kept going on about how it was a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to see a rocket launching, but...
Well, not really. They're throwing them up every other week, aren't they?
No.
Isn't that true? They're constantly going up there.
No, but I went off to Orlando to have a nice time in the theme parks, and my dad drags me off to the NASA site.
Well, that's Dad's for you.
I know. We just wanted to have a nice look around, and he just said, gosh, there's a lot of traffic, isn't there? And then we heard on the radio that there was going to be a launch, so we didn't even actually know.
Well, I would have been excited by that, but you were pretty nonplussed.
No, well, when I was little, I actually wanted to be an astronaut, and then I...
Well, who didn't? Astronaut, fireman, bus
Then I
conductor.
watched some boring documentary on the BBC about it, and then I just thought, no, I don't really want to be an astronaut anymore.
Documentary on the BBC.
Boring!
Yeah, say no more.
Yeah.
So did you eventually get to go see Mickey and Pluto and Donald and all that?
Yeah, I did.
How were they?
They were good. Yeah, I preferred the roller coasters to having my picture taken with these people. I actually quite pitied the poor people in the...
Did you go on Space Mountain? Is that still there?
Yes, yeah, I did. I went on that.
And did you think that the queue for 10 hours to get on was actually worth the 30 seconds of
we
enjoyment?
actually had a fast pass.
Oh, well, get you with your fancy fast pass.
No, it's actually free. It's really good. You can go there, right, and put your tickets in, and they give you a fast pass for a certain time. So what we did is we went there, say, 4 o'clock, put our tickets in, and they gave us a fast pass for about 5 o'clock, come back an hour later, and skip the 90-minute queue.
Wow. Well, that sounds like a good idea. I'm almost tempted to go back.
Yeah, but we sort of only found out about the whole fast pass thing about sort of a few days before we were leaving. So
Well, how many days did you spend in Disney World?
2 weeks.
You spent 2 weeks in Disney World?
Yeah.
You're kidding.
No, but we went to all of them. We went to Universal, the Sea World, all of them.
You spent 2 weeks in Disney World?
And we want to go back next year.
No, don't do it.
It's amazing.
Well, how many, how many worlds have they got? When I went there, they had Epcot and Disneyland, and that was it.
They now have Animal Kingdom.
Yeah.
They have loads of water parks, and Universal, of course, have got all their new fancy other parks, adventure parks, and all this and that now.
Right.
And well, there's SeaWorld with all their little animals jumping about through hoops and things. And yeah, well, I mean, it's quite good actually because well, my little brothers and sisters, they all enjoyed it, but it's good for older sort of people as well because they've got the huge rides and that.
Bars, things like that. Yeah.
Yeah, so it was actually really good.
Oh, well, it must have been for you to stand 2 weeks of it and want to go back. This is beginning to sound like an advert for Walt.
Well, we didn't actually sort of spend every single day in the theme park.
No, well, that would be crazy.
We had to
obviously.
recuperate
Yeah.
after a day running around.
Otherwise, you'd become diabetic, wouldn't you? There's a little overload on sugar. Yeah.
No, but it was really good. And I just have to say, you said about the American breakfasts.
Yeah.
I don't actually think much of them actually. Most of the places I went to, they said, I said, can I have hash browns with that? They said, no, we don't do hash browns. Sorry. No hash browns today. No, sorry.
Right. Well, I think you'd have to have breakfast in 1970. You'd have to go back to 1970. Next time you go back, you want to make sure that you're there in 1970.
And how is the Minister... London's LBC 97.3. 0870 90 90 973. Nick Abbott.
So they opened their big mouths and out came talk. Talk.
Crystal Palace. Hello, Suzanne.
Hi, Nick.
Suzanne.
Hi, Nick. Nick. I've got a question. A friend of mine, I was just on the phone to a friend of mine, and she said something that sort of slightly freaked me out. I was mentioned that another friend of mine is manic depressive because she knows about the first one. And I said, oh, this friend is manic depressive, and she said, oh, you do choose them, don't you? And I said, what do you mean? And she said, it's the law of attraction. And I was like, oh my God, what am I doing? And I sort of want to throw that one out there because I don't think I'm doing anything particular, and they're lovely people when I'm a friend indeed and a friend in need, as it were. But I'm just kind of curious. I mean, what is that about?
Right. So all of your friends have mental problems. Is that what you're saying?
Well, we all have mental problems from time to time. But yeah, one of them. Yeah, they are. Both of them are manic depressives.
Are you a good listener?
Yeah, I am. I think I am.
Well, maybe that's what it is. Maybe they just see somebody who's, caring and sharing, and that's why people go to you, because you're a nice person.
Yeah, but up until, 2 months ago, I hadn't seen one of them for, about 13 years. And I've sort of visited them at hospital quite a lot. And it's really weird because it does take a lot out of you, even though I'm not easily shocked, and I'll take people as I find them, and I'm not going to freak out and go, oh my God, you were like this, so I can't be around you, I just sort of think, but for the grace of God go I, because it can happen to anyone, I think.
Yeah, that's right.
Any kind of breakdown, it could be any kind of trauma.
Yeah, I'm having one right now.
But I just thought, what is that about? I mean, the laws of attraction. I mean, how do you attract how are you attractive to people that have these particular problems? I don't know what that is, and
well, I mean, take me for instance. I mean, just listen to most of the people that call this show. you and I both.
Yeah.
I don't know. I would take it. I would take it in a nice way. I wouldn't start getting worried about it. They probably just see, a caring person. So that's why they're attracted to you, because they think that you might care.
But if that is the law of attraction, does it mean that the people that I want, I mean, just say, for instance, a partner that I want, because I'm having these sort of other people around me, is that going to repel them? I don't know. I mean, I'm a little bit concerned about that.
Well, it depends if they're in the house at the time, I suppose. I mean, everyone can have a lot of friends, but they don't all have to meet each other,
Well, my friends, well, I do have different friends that don't meet each other. I mean, there's reasons for that, because I don't think they'd get on, and they just wouldn't be into each other.
Right,
so
be like rockers and, what was the other one? Mods and rockers, that's right. Yeah. All your friends would be down on the front at Brighton. Yeah. You'd be holding their coats going, no, don't do it.
But if any listeners have got any insight into that, because I'm wondering if I'm becoming one of those people that, do you know those people that go around rescuing people?
Carer.
Well,
Samaritan.
No, there's a certain... Because I've seen it before, and I've seen other people do it, and I thought, oh my God, there's someone picking up a lame duck, whatever.
Right.
And it's like their mission in life, and that's not my mission in life. My mission in life is to live, be happy, have fun, and do good things. Do you know what I mean? But I'm wondering...
Are you becoming a social worker?
Social worker, or not even social worker, because I wouldn't say that, because they don't really... some of them don't do their jobs well. I'll rephrase that, because I'm sure some of them do.
Who, social workers?
Yeah, I mean...
Oh, yeah, absolutely,
They miss a lot, and, you know, we hear about those, but I suppose we don't hear about the good stuff that they do, so...
I shared a flat with 5 social workers. They're nuts.
All right, then, well, I'll just put that one out there, and hopefully I'll get an answer, because it's kind of... It's bothered me.
Right. Well, I wouldn't get all twisted up about it. It just means that that they see you as a nice person. That's all.
Well, I am a nice person.
Well, there you go.
Oh, good then. If that's the answer, then I shall sleep happily.
Well, I think we both will. I'll start right now. Thanks a lot, Suzanne. Cheers.
Thanks. Bye.
Ta-da. Hey, am I helping people? Hey, Anna, I'm helping people.
Yeah.
Here is Oakwood. Hello, Maggie.
Hello.
Maggie. Maggie.
Nick. How are you?
I'm great.
Happy birthday.
Oh, yeah. Happy birthday to me.
Was I the first one to wish you?
You are.
Oh, whoop-de-doo.
Whoop-de-doo.
Don't get it twisted.
All right.
Yeah. The laws of attraction, you know what it is, don't you?
In what sense?
I mean, you know what it means.
The laws of attraction. What do you mean?
The actual meaning of the laws of attraction.
Well, I don't really know what you mean, so go on.
Oh, right. It's basically that you, it's kind of what I personally feel. It's a bit like cosmic ordering.
Oh, no.
Yes, I know. It's a kind of, what you wish for and what you really want will come about if you really believe in it.
This is like Noel Edmonds that started as
yes, that's
banging
right.
on about
but,
cosmic ordering.
You know, that previous caller, you know, if she wants to have fun and all that, and if she helps someone along the way, it's not a bad thing.
Yeah, as long as the caring doesn't actually take over your life, as long
exactly,
as
yeah. I mean, there's got to be everything in moderation.
Everything in moderation. Yeah, that's what Pete Doherty says. Yeah.
Don't get me started. Just a few things. Yesterday you were talking about the X Factor, and I agree totally with you about what you said about that woman that was just being laughed at.
Yeah, and you know what? I watched, because a lot of people were saying how great it was, I watched a little bit more of it today, and I was a little less repelled.
Oh, right.
I still don't believe any of that Louis Walsh thing. I still don't believe that he was fired and never went back. I think that's just one giant publicity stunt, and it worked perfectly.
Yeah. But no, I've taped it, so I will watch it and see what happens. But
you know what? It's just the same old show over and over and over again. Mentally ill people who... And here's the thing, is... Because everyone who gets to stand in front of the desk and audition for them has already been through a selection process, in their minds they think, wow, I've got through.
I've done it, yeah.
I'm good enough to be on the TV.
And then they get on the show, and then they get sort of laughed at.
Yeah, and they don't realise that they're there not because they can sing well. They're there because we can all laugh at them because they're mentally ill. Yeah.
So-called entertainment. I mean, at the expense of someone else. It just doesn't work.
Well, it's exactly like we used to go around and look at the crazies in Bedlam. It's just exactly that. Yeah.
But I think that's just a product of the TV of today, really.
Yeah, cruelty rules. Yeah, but don't you find it a little worrying that there are so many people who are so massively under illusion about their abilities? I mean, they're mad. I mean, there's no other word for it. Speaking as a psychologist.
Yeah, well, you know, Yeah, it is interesting. I mean, I think that we all have to have some sort of sense of self-worth, but sometimes people really see themselves in totally weird way.
Yeah, they don't have any sense of self. They have no idea what they're like. Yeah. And are stunned when they're told, after shrieking like a strangled cat, that they can't sing. They just find it incomprehensible.
Well, Tallulah's budgie could do better.
Yes.
And isn't she great?
Who, Tallulah or the budgie?
Both.
They both are.
They both are.
Yeah. So, so you managed to get you didn't manage to get to the end of it, but you're thinking about taking the X Factor up. Yeah.
Yeah, so, and the other thing, how's the crosswords going? Or the cryptic crossword?
Well, I was a bit, was it you who called yesterday about this?
No, I didn't, but, she said that, the woman said that you were doing the easy one, and
I was very upset about that, because...
Well, I was thinking baby steps. Baby steps.
Yeah, I think she was saying that just in order to make me feel bad. On the eve of my birthday as well. Can you believe it?
Baby, it's not right.
Because I can't finish that thing most days, and I find it very, not easy at all.
Well, it does expand the mind and word power, and words are everything to me as well, so I love to play with them.
I firmly believe that it has actually improved my mental agility, and whenever I say something like that, I know I'm setting myself up for a major fall. It's like strapping yourself to a target, isn't it, really? Okay, go ahead. Take your best shot. But it has. I used to stumble over words like crazy before I started it up, and now, as hard as it might be to believe, I'm much, much better.
Well, when I was younger, do you know when you're sort of about 17, 18 or 19, you kind of, it's not cool to use big words.
No.
You know, and then as I got older and I was speaking, and suddenly, the big word would come along that I would remember, but that I'd buried because it wasn't cool to use it. And then I just started using these words, and the more and more I do it, the more appreciation I get of just the love of English language.
Yes.
Yeah.
And crosswords are, I firmly believe that it will stem my inevitable mental decline. I'll get enough, at least, you doubt it? You've heard this show, have you?
Your show is great. That's what I wanted to tell you. I don't know if you know, because I know you and Anthony are mates, and I speak to Anthony quite a lot, and he knows that, I lost my twin sister in April, my identical twin sister, and she was a fan of your show. She used to listen all the time. And she used to tell me to listen, and I listened as well, but I never phoned in. Now that I've been talking to you, it always reminded me of her, so it's great.
Well, thanks, Maggie.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.
Oh, by the way.
Yeah, go on.
Do you like Pink Floyd?
Do I like Pink Floyd?
Groovy.
Oh, yes.
Oh, wow. You've got good taste.
I know I do.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot, Maggie.
Yeah, take care.
Cheers, my dear. Ta-da.
Bye.
Here is Chiswick. Oh, Stephanie.
Hello, happy birthday.
Hey, thanks. Happy birthday to me. Yeah.
Another one of them?
I know, another one. They come around so quickly.
You feeling old?
No. No, I don't feel... I'm not even used to being 30 yet. I'm 47. It's just...
well,
the number...
you can be like Ronald Reagan. He said, it's the 30th year since I've been celebrating my 37th birthday.
Yeah, but even 37 sounds old to me. 47, that sounds ancient. I have no relation to that number at all. I cannot get my head around it.
Oh, come on. You don't sound it.
Well, no, that's what I'm saying. It's like, I just don't relate to it. When I hear the number, or you see in the newspaper such and such, and then they'll put the age after them, 47, like immediately my mind is, you put people in pigeonholes, don't you? 47, that's in the old pigeonhole. But I just don't...
I felt like that when I was 10.
You felt old when you were 10?
Yeah.
Right.
So, I don't...
Well, that would probably just have been the incontinence. It's a gentle curve of incontinence, isn't it? When you're 10, it's almost like being 80. The bit in the middle is when you can hold it in, but on either end, so to speak.
Oh, 10. I was fully potty trained. And
Really?
toilet trained.
Oh, well done. You have been a good girl.
I have been a good girl, and I wanted to talk to you about something else, but I've forgotten.
I think it was psychiatry.
Yeah,
That's what's
I'm a
written on my
shrink.
screen, anyway.
I'm a shrink.
You are a shrink.
Yes, I'm a psychiatrist who's about to fall asleep.
Well, let me ask you about this, Stephanie.
Mm-hmm.
Is it true that psychiatrists are...
As mad as their patients?
Yes.
No, it's not.
Is that a yes?
No, it's not true.
A little bit.
We're
Yes.
eccentric.
Yeah. Well, no, rich people are eccentric. Poor people are crazy.
Well, there you go. You see, we've just got different names. But we're eccentric. And we have to be, because it's part of our job.
Are you honestly a psychiatrist?
Yeah.
What
Consultant.
type of psychiatrist are you?
Consultant liaison psychiatrist.
Of consultant liaison psychiatrist. I don't know what that means.
Which means that I'm a consultant psychiatrist. I've been through medical school and everything.
Do you practice on the NHS?
Yeah.
Okay. So if people come into your office, and do they lie on a couch or do they sit facing you?
No, I'm not a psychotherapist. The liaison bit means that I deal with people who are in medical wards who've got just rich
problems.
People, yeah.
Right.
Who've broken a few legs and are feeling a bit in the dip about it. But I'm also a forensic psychiatrist, which means I deal with criminals.
Oh, you're like Cracker. Isn't that what he is? Isn't he a forensic psychiatrist? Tries to get in the mind of criminals? Is that what you do?
No, I get them in hospital and try to keep them in and away from the community. And if anything happens, then, let them out gradually. If anything happens, then I have to...
Bring them back in again.
I bring them back in again. I get into trouble.
Always have your butterfly net handy, all right.
Well, yes, I have to have my butterfly net handy.
Yeah, Stephanie, I'm past the break. I've got to go, all right, but thanks a lot, okay.
Happy birthday.
Cheers, my dear. Ta-ra. This is LBC.
London's LBC 97.3. 0870 90 90 973. Nick Abbott.
And remember, darling, I don't work before 10 in the morning and never after 4:30 in the afternoon.
Wouldn't that be great if you didn't work before 10 in the morning and never after 4:30 in the afternoon? Oh, I dream of such a thing. Hey, Georgia.
It would be heaven.
Wouldn't it just?
I dream of working on a drive time show. So you get it in the morning at 9 and then you finish at sort of 7.
9? For drive?
Do they get in at 10?
Well, he starts at 4.
Oh,
I'd be in at 5 too. Are you kidding?
Well, yes. Although I think Martin, who produces Paul, gets in a bit earlier. He usually comes in about lunchtime.
Right.
Just imagine how good that would be.
And you're closing your eyes wistfully.
I know.
Imagining it as you speak.
I did breakfast for 3 years, and now I'm doing...
a living nightmare.
It is a living nightmare. And now, breakfast for 3 years here, and now I'm doing evenings here and elsewhere.
Right.
So, I've gone from one extreme to the other. Basically, I never really want to see my boyfriend. That's not true. But that's how it seems to work out.
Right. Well, maybe that will make the heart grow fonder.
Well, that's what it seems to do at the moment, that's for sure. That's good.
Well, yeah, so that will extend the length of your relationship. Yeah.
Yeah. That would be good too. I've got obsessed with weddings recently.
Oh, well, he'll be delighted to hear that, I'm sure.
Yes.
What do you mean you got obsessed with weddings?
Just obsessed, like wondering how and where I'm going to get married. It's embarrassing. Don't worry, we oughtn't go into it.
Yeah, you have to stop thinking about it right now.
Yeah.
You're going to start buying those magazines and dreaming about the dress.
Yeah.
Have you thought about the cake? Oh
no,
my God,
no.
You have. That's a yes, isn't it? You actually thought about the cake.
I promise I haven't thought about the cake. I'm preoccupied with the venue at the moment. It's embarrassing. He hasn't even asked me to marry him, and I'm preoccupied with the venue.
Well, why don't you go ahead and ask him? You could ask him right now. Go ahead.
No, don't. I'm not doing that.
This is going to be a beautiful moment, ladies and gentlemen. Well, we almost need a drum roll here.
It's not happening. It's not happening. I'm not ready. I'm just mental.
Well, you fit right in on this show. Here is Derbyshire. Hello, Alan.
Hi.
Alan.
I can just hear George's boyfriend running away.
Yes, screaming.
Yes, screaming, get away, woman. Are you trying to cause trouble, Nicholas?
In what way?
Sort of, talking about marriage, getting that young lad scared.
Nothing to do with me. I didn't bring it up.
Oh, yeah, okay. Anyway, I know you're great with big companies. I understand a few years ago you had problems with a Sony laptop.
Yeah.
I shouldn't have mentioned the name there. I should have just said laptop.
Yeah, it looked great in the box. It's when I took it out and switched it on that the problems began, yes.
Yeah, well, now I've got a huge problem. I bought a certain games console, and it's, like, blown up. I've sent it away, but it's been about a month, and it seems like they're twiddling the thumbs. What do I do, Nicholas? I thought you might know.
Well, have you thought about reading a book, maybe, or doing something that's not a teenage pursuit? A games console.
Teenage pursuit?
Yeah, games consoles are for children, aren't they?
Have you seen how much a PlayStation 3 is these days?
Yeah, well, you have to ask your mum for it.
Ask my mum for it?
No, seriously, computer games, aren't they for children?
No.
I think that the infantilization of adults in this country is at full pace, and computer games are a major factor. It's a giant waste of time. What have you actually achieved by playing computer games? Nothing.
Brilliant reflexes?
You'd achieve more by watching television. At least you might learn something.
To be quite honest, I can't remember the last time I sat down and watched TV.
Well, there's no end of entertainment.
Repeats on.
Well, that's not true. There's no end of entertainment and educational possibilities on television. You'll
weren't you
learn.
saying the other day that there was no decent British comedies?
All right. Well, then watch an American one.
Mm.
Or watch a documentary. I mean, there's there's Hitler and sharks. There's a documentary on both of those subjects on 24 hours a day. You can never know enough about Hitler and sharks.
So if I want to terrorise Europe or sort of scare people in the sea, I should watch those programs.
I think that you should take this as a blessing from heaven that your machine broke down and to step in.
It's terrible. I spent 300 quid on it. Now it's broke.
Right. Well, good. Now you've perhaps learnt your lesson. Step into the adult world. Read a book. Watch a film. Do anything else.
I do read lots of books, but
take up a hobby.
I have plenty.
Does anybody do hobbies anymore? What hobbies have you got?
Hobbies, me?
Yeah.
Walking, fishing, reading.
See, that's not a hobby. That's going to the tube.
Sorry?
Does anybody have hobbies anymore? I mean, do people actually do that? I think that's an old times thing. Collecting stamps. And
it was always stamps.
Like building boats model boats from scratch and that
Campanology.
Sort of stuff.
I think you found the topic of your next show anyway. Hobbies.
Yeah, maybe.
Anyway, I've got to go. Happy birthday
yes,
anyway.
You do. Thanks a lot, Alan.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Hobbies. I've never had a hobby in my life. It just seemed to cut into TV time.
Well, when you were like learning French and German, you had to, one of the things that you would say to your French exchange was what your hobbies were.
French exchange?
Yeah.
No, we didn't have them.
Didn't you?
No.
I did a French and a German one, and I was always bereft of hobbies. Never had anything to say, really.
What, a French exchange student came to stay with you?
No, because I was at boarding school. They came to stay at the boarding school. It was a bit of a cop-out. I got to stay in their house in France, and they had to stay in the boarding school. Same with the German one.
Well, I think that would probably be preferable.
To staying at home?
Yeah.
Yeah, I suppose they didn't mean...
No parents,
no
for
parents.
You just run around like crazy.
It was... I mean, Germany was good fun, though, for me. Because you went the other way, because we were staying in a family, it was less strict. So you could, you had lots more freedom. Beer keller. That was the main thing with Germany.
They had beer in their cellar. That's nice.
No, you used to go to the beer keller. Ja, wir können in beer keller gehen.
Oh, blimey, she's about to annex the Sudetenland through there. Here is Stanmore. Hello, Stuart.
Hello, mate. Hello there.
Stuart.
Good news for you, Nick. I've been to see your favourite people, the osteopaths, again.
Osteopaths. I used to go to an osteopath all the time until I figured out that going to an osteopath just makes you need to go to an osteopath.
Well, unfortunately, in my case, it's like some people have to go visit the A&E. I have to visit the osteopath myself.
Right.
Get my back sorted out.
Yeah, I used to get popped and cracked, and I really used to enjoy that. I mean, especially the neck part, when she's popped all of the vertebrae in your back and made like loud, it sounds like gunshots going off, and it's great. You feel about a foot taller when you leave than when you came in, but at the end, when they've loosened you up sufficiently that they can do your neck, that's the part that I like the best, because it's like a volley of rifle shots going off. It's like about 20 or 30 all going off at the same time. It's wonderful.
Well, thankfully, I've never had problems with the neck, just the back.
Well, she used to do me all over. This woman who was about 55 years old, she looked like she just stepped out of a yogurt advert.
I can believe it, unfortunately.
She had the strongest hands of any person I've ever met. Even Arnold Schwarzenegger didn't have hands that strong.
Yes.
That's very true. And does ringing up radio phone-ins count as a hobby?
Well, if it's all you've got, then yes, it does.
Well, it's close enough now, isn't it? Or messing about watching videotapes?
Well, no, that doesn't, but your first one does. And you're doing very well. You keep it up, Stuart, all right?
Of course, because after you, Mike Mendoza's on as well tonight.
Who? This is LBC.
Abbott 73. Nick Abbott.
Okie dokie.
I just find that amusing. I don't know why. Hey, did you play golf? You went to a posh boarding school. You must play golf, right?
No, I'm useless. I dig instead of hit the ball. Just dig.
I air.
Do you?
I hit the top of the ball and it goes just trundles along the ground for about 5
Well, there's
yards.
a skill to that.
I hate that.
I just hate golf. I get really agitated by silly rules in the clubhouse.
You know what? The worst thing about golf is you've hit the nail right in the head. People who play golf.
Yes. Yes.
With their obsession about rules. You got to tuck your shirt in, and you got to have it, and your shirt's got to have a collar, and you can't do this, and you can't do that.
Girls can't go in a vest top. And
No.
I mean, that just drives me. What's wrong? Why are the men going to collapse because of a woman's shoulder?
A vest top.
That's just outrageous. They drive me up the wall, and the silly shoes and the pathetic tartan. Sorry.
Wow, I really opened a can of worms here. I had no idea you felt so strongly. I'm beginning to become frightened. Well, I'm so very bad at it, but then I read about this guy and it made me feel a little bit better. Budding golfer Rich Hurst played the worst round of golf that has ever been recorded, taking 202 shots to complete an 18-hole course. Rich, 25, who had just bought a £400 set of new clubs, shot an incredible 133 over the 69 par. He also lost 17 balls, broke his 5-iron when he hit the ground taking a swing, took 23 shots on the 400-yard 10th hole, 23, and 12 on the tiny par 3 18th. After his disaster, he admitted it was a nightmare. I got 19 on the first hole and felt like giving up right then. But my partner persuaded me to carry on. By the end, it was quite embarrassing, and I think I'll give up my dream of being the next Tiger Woods. Yeah, good idea. I feel much better now. Hey, Bill's next.